gentlemen, live in color here, and you are about to report upon a great show. It's going to be Wrestle today with T-Dub, and of course, the Daddy, get ready, get live, get pumped. We're going to talk about NXT, Raw, SmackDown, and maybe some others. We're not going to do all this. Yeah. There we go. All right. What's up, everybody? Yes, we are here live in Technicolor, if you will, like Dustin Rhodes would tell us back in the day. I'm just here so I don't get fined, and for right to sense the revival, I can't still hold out the hope. Damn it! You know what, Steve? I've been listening to Steven Richards lately. Stevie Richards. He's pretty good, man. His analysis is spot on, especially with AW and then WWE also. So, but Ladarius, how you doing, brother? How's everything going your way, man?
Oh, I'm doing well, wearing my main event Uzi J Still shirt. And as for Craig, listen, Craig, we should make that happen. Us, I mean, right? The sense, yeah, I think Craig, yeah, I can see, yeah, Craig, you would fit in naturally.
I mean, I could probably pull off the Bull Buchanan look, I think.
And I guess by process, I got to be the good father, so I can't be anybody else.
Yeah. I think we'll have to do a competition, see who plays Ivory, though. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough tale.
The thing is, they did though. That's true, Greg. They did.
Yeah.
Like,
they had to have. That had to be one of the biggest, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be in that group, you had to like have ticked someone off, because it had some really good performers, and you're going, well, wait a minute. Why would the Godfather want to be the good father? I mean,
no more of those trains and no more of that lady stuff. You guys are gonna be serious people now. You see, Ivory, what did I do? I needed a lady in the faction. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she played her role good, though.
Yeah. You know what? Out of all of them, I felt she was the most dedicated. I'll give
hers.
Yeah. Yeah, hers. Yeah, they were dedicated. Like, for Val, listen, they checked out. Like, and it's okay.
All right. Now, I have put it in our descriptions that we may talk about AEW. Look, if we want to talk about it, we can. All right. Not like I said. The card itself, I thought the card was okay. But I'm gonna be going in on a few of those things because I heard people saying how great the cage matches were, and we're gonna go talk. But I want to talk about Rollins Punk cage match before I talk about that other one. Let's see. Hold on. We got John. Oh boy. Buckle up. Anytime we get John, we gotta buckle up. But what's up, guys? Raw was decent. Punk versus Rollins was good. Until the ending. Overall, the show was a dud. I think the guy in the mask is Ray Phoenix. Okay. We'll talk about that. Because the mask guy was very interesting. Because the first person, it was Chad Gable. I don't care what anyone said. I had to rewatch it. Because he sounded just like Chad. That's why I was like, okay, I'm not losing it. But the second guy, I almost wanted to ask, was Prego del Sol in the back, and they said, "Hey, put this on." Yes, Dan Moxley anymore. Dear God, why would they even let him run anything creatively? Look, we'll talk about it. All right. There are some things I don't want to talk about, but we will talk about it. But this is how we do this. Darius, Mr. Laddie Daddy. What do you want to start with, man? We have NXT, Roadblock, we have Raw, we had SmackDown. We could talk AEW, but what do you want to start with?
Oh man, this is conflicting. You know what? Let's start off hot. Let's talk about NXT. It's fresh.
Yes. That's fine. I'm down with that, man. NXT Roadblock from the theater in Madison Square Garden, so it's like the place closest to the Madison Square Garden itself. So, but it's in that direct relationship, so they can actually do that. So, what did you think? I mean, man, we had a hell of a fight. I mean, to me, the card was actually really great. It was full of bangers. I think we and you both wrote that to each other. But what did you enjoy the most? What stood out to you? What did you enjoy? Just talk to us. What was it about NXT you enjoyed?
You know, yeah. Listen, like you mentioned, the card was just so stacked from top to bottom. It's like when you book an ideal, and if you think about it, booking like NXT figures it out. And like I said, this partnership with TNA is hitting a home run. You open a match with Fraxium and the Hardys. Always great to see the Hardys. Like in 2025, if someone told you you're going to see the Hardys in WWE fighting, it meant, on NXT, you wouldn't believe it. And, at a PL, fantastic. And to me, a match that I think deserves a little more, I think a lot of love. Listen, I got to shout out Ethan Page and the Javon Evans match. That match there was, oh my God, it was so good. It was so
Finish was
good.
great. There were so many parts I thought that match was over.
Yeah. And that's what made it like, oh, close falls, like, oh, that's gonna end it. That's gonna end it. And that's what made it great. And listen, Jordan Grace, Roxanne, the thing is this. I think the reality, and we'll get to that, John. We'll get to that last comment. We'll get to that. He mentioned the point.
I'll still post them, but we'll get into everything.
Let's see. Craig says the Hardys being good until after whatever that mess was in AEW with them. Yeah, it just goes to show you. You see, Craig. What's up? First of all, what's up, Craig? He's my
What's up, Craig.
Craig. Yeah, Craig's my. He's like my Paul Heyman sometimes.
Oh, okay.
If I get out of line and you're the guy that we get the mischief, like he's the guy that handles all the stuff.
Oh, okay.
I go like there's always good mischief, folks. Write that down. But yeah, I think, and then going to the Julia Vacor match, like there was more reports that Julia was injured, so I'm not surprised that that Stephanie won this match. I think this match was done to do two things. You just make Vacor this absolute star. And then you give Julia time to rest. And I think we're going to get part 2 of that match whenever Julia is fully cleared. Because I do think, whenever she was hurt, I think from Shawn Michaels and their perspective, like we're not going to risk anything. We're not going to risk it because of the not even the money, but the build and the time they put in. So, but that match was fantastic. This card was so great. It gave off NXT and these PLEs, like they understand how to build the card. And then Oba and Moose did their thing, destroyed one another, destroyed the bejesus out of one another. Fantastic match. And then after Javon Evans' match, we get those 4 guys, 4 people coming, and I'm coming around on it. I always joke that it's like we've seen this faction, and we've seen an NXT faction like this kind of crumble. But I'm like, it's getting credibility. It's not giving a Nexus vibe to me. Nexus was way more aggressive when they made it. I think they're targeting these up and coming guys. They're targeting these, like they went after but now they went after Javon. They're going after
tag team champs earlier,
right? And then with Fraxium. So there's a method to the madness, I guess, per se, there in that regard. But listen, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Like the NXT women's division, like I say, the next Jordan Grace is going to be the next person up. And listen, don't rule out Jada Parker either.
Oh no,
do not rule it. It's like it's so. And then Chelsea Green's going to face. And we talked about we talked about Sol Ruka. She's getting all in all, NXT is just on all cylinders, and the key to it is the booking, and the storytelling is kind of there, but it's the booking, it's the chemistry, making it all work. It's just like this. Like I said, going back to Jordan Grace and Roxanne, and I'll turn it back over to you. It's like this. The match, like if they'd gone longer, it could have been, but it didn't take away from how great of a match it was. But it just goes to show you how deep this roster is. And moving forward, we like I said, now we're on that road. That road. We passed the roadblock. Now we're on our way to stand and deliver. And I guarantee, and I feel pretty confident when I say this. Do not be shocked if what you saw on the roadblock, Jordan Grace, easily. I expect something there to happen with her, and I'm curious to see what's next for Oba. It seems if he, that's the big question. What's next for Oba? I have an idea, but it's post WrestleMania stuff. But he's got to fight somebody at Stand and Deliver. He's got to fight somebody. He's the champion, so
I love how you say that. You got to fight somebody.
You got to fight somebody. So those are my thoughts. I'm curious to get yours, buddy.
Man, okay. I thought tag team match. I thought that was just great. Great way to start off. Get the crowd get behind it. Roxanne and Jordan. Look, if that was Roxanne's last match in NXT, what a way to go. Roxanne is legit. She is main roster ready. I still think Jordan is too. But anyway, and I think Jordan probably may be fast tracked after WrestleMania, but we'll see. But I would love to see if Roxanne's going to Raw or SmackDown, probably Raw. I would hope they give opportunities to not just Kalani Jordan, to Lola Vice still, but Jada Parker. Jada Parker standing out. And all she did was a promo section. She didn't even wrestle. And that's the other thing. In this PLE style of a show, this was a PLE show on regular TV. And they were able to entice you with the other feuds. All right, we heard from Sean Spears and his cult, or Moline, or whatever they're called. And you have the D'Angelo family doing their thing. I like that. And of course, Trick working out. I guess he's Apollo, so he's going to be in the Rocky movie. One of the best things, folks. You need to see it. Trick Williams, Brutus Creed. Just pull it up on Twitter. Their Rocky parody, because they did it hilariously accurate too. Actually, they really did. They even wore the outfits. But Trick and Eddie, and then Trick being able to come down, beat up on Eddie in New York to get that feud. Oh, I know you would say that.
Good.
But
Good.
But
good.
It's good because you got that. You still. It's like these stories that they're telling, as amateur as some people will call it. It's getting you invested to watch next week. It's getting you to want to watch. And when we go into AEW, I'm going in because I love what I saw. So Stephanie Vacour has 2 belts. Before everyone loses their minds, that means that title will probably go into a tournament for the new champ. Or hell, they'll probably just put it in a ladder match and the winner gets it. All right. I don't mind. My thing is, I just want to see Stephanie Vacour, defend that title, and I hope it is Jada Parker. Originally, I was okay with what was it? I would love to have seen her versus Jordan, because I'm like, we don't know how long Jordan's going to be there.
Right.
If we did, I can actually maybe slow roll it a little bit. But like I said, so you're seeing all this talent. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. You had Moose versus Oba. And by the way, if y'all didn't get a good chance to watch Moose, I know Jerry's not a big fan of him, but I gotta say, man, this relationship with TNA is going to be very profitable for these guys.
It's already paying dividends.
Yeah.
It's already paying dividends. I mean to cut you off, but
you're fine. Don't worry about it.
It's paying dividends. And like I said, I just love this partnership. And to kind of go back to your point about Stephanie Vacour, like, I was initially on the Jordan Grace. I'm like, but there was a reason why Jada Parker was featured in this PLE.
And I'm with you. I am so with you. That's why I have no problem. Yeah, I like that. Trust the system. This has to be Roxanne getting called up now, Jordan. beat her. Now yeah, and
Yeah,
not just that. We don't really know if Bailey and uh,
yeah,
Roxanne
because
going to go
yeah,
at
I
it.
was gonna say
Yeah,
yeah,
but hey, anything can happen. We It may end up being Roxanne Bailey versus Lyra.
yeah, and
So
then we could get a fatal four way if we you do it correctly. You could potentially get a fatal four way
oh
out of
god,
it,
that's fun.
and
So,
it's
like
one of
people
those.
get mad. People, I don't know about you, but people were getting mad. Oh well, if you do a fatal four way, if you do a triple threat, that's lazy. No, it's not.
No,
Get
it's
what
not
get as many people as you can on the card, especially if they fit the story. Now, if you're just
right.
putting people in matches to put them in
Yeah,
matches,
yeah.
I'm with you. But this is WrestleMania at this point. If you
Well,
can
listen.
tie it in, you're in. That's how I see
Yeah,
it. Zack Ryder
but
was in the Intercontinental title ladder match, and I was like, okay, well, that's fine. He ain't going to win. And he won the damn thing. And it was actually one of the best WrestleMania moments. So,
it's. I mean, people are gonna be really pissed up when they see the SmackDown tag picture when it's a potential fatal four way. They're gonna be really pissed about that.
yeah.
People like because the thing is, like, to your point, if it makes sense, it makes sense. It's like you don't do it for the sake of, like, you don't just throw people together and
Mm-hmm.
not have any substance to it. And what gets me is, like, not every fan does it, but I see too many people say, "Well, I don't like triple threats, and I don't like." No, the problem is this: you have to give everybody an opportunity. Like, how can you leave someone out
Mm-hmm.
just because? When you can, because the thing, and like to Craig's point, people call those three and those triple threats and fatal four way because it's done poorly, and that's the problem. But
Yeah.
when booked properly, because one of the things I feel the goals of a triple threat or a fatal four, whether it's a fatal four, whether it's a tag team or individual,
Mm-hmm.
everybody gets their stuff
Yeah.
in those multi men and women matches. Get your stuff in, because to Craig's point, some of them don't, and that's what makes it poorly. It's like that's what made the moment when Chelsea Green was on the ladder and she fell through that table. Like, everybody got their stuff in. It's
Yeah.
like we remember that moment because, listen, Bailey, nobody was going to take the bump but Chelsea Green, and I bring that up because that
Was
everybody got their stuff in, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Everybody got their stuff in. And to Craig's point, the reason why it's done poorly is because people don't have a plan.
yeah.
WWE has a plan, and the problem is that maybe under a previous regime this was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's an issue now. I think when matches now are booked for a reason, they're booked with logic. They're booked with the thoughts in mind of everybody comes out looking great. And listen, I wouldn't be shocked if this WrestleMania we see at least maybe three, maybe at least triple threat or fatal four way matches.
Yeah.
It would not shock me, because if you book it properly, because here's the thing, the IC title picture, who are you gonna like? Okay, it's gonna be Braun and who? It can't be one on one. You can make a case that's a multi person match.
Yeah.
You could make a case for the Lyras for the IC title. You can
Mm-hmm.
make a case to make that a triple threat, potentially fatal four way. We're gonna get at least a three or four fatal four way tag on the SmackDown side. It's just that if it doesn't make sense because it's not booked poorly, I think then that's the problem. And I think with this regime, I think they'll figure it out. I think Triple Creative, they're gonna figure it out. And to Craig's
Yeah.
point, like to go back to Craig's point, the reason why they're done poorly is because they're not booked properly. You
Yeah.
just can't throw people together and say, it's like you can throw a meal together, like Rachel Ray's 30-minute meals. Yeah, you can do that because there's a what? There's a recipe. There's a
Yeah.
formula to getting it. That's no
Yeah.
different when you're booking these matches. It's
Mm-hmm.
like if you have the formula, you have the recipe to do it, it makes it successful. Because like 30-minute meals, how do you get that done? Because it's a recipe and you
Yeah.
follow it. That's no different.
All the steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And see,
the recipe has to make sense.
yeah. And like I was saying, you can make anything make sense if you put the story behind it and you connect everyone involved. So that's where I was going. But I got to go. that women's matchup between Stephanie and Julia, that could have went longer. I even said there was a point I'm going, they're stiffing each other. You know that. Because when you're facing your best friend, you know you could go a little longer or go a little harder because
Mm-hmm.
you trust each other. And I love that they talked about the past. I love that they talked about, stardom and stuff. See, I don't mind you talking about the other Japan stuff that you were in. Just make sure you are involving it to the character. Now, if you're just saying, "Oh yeah, they were in Stardom," well, okay, Excalibur, but could you give me a little bit more info next time? Versus Tony Schiavone going, "I'm so glad wrestling is predetermined. I didn't know that." Oh Lord! But anyway, like I said, man, AEW, my God, you idiots, you aggravated me too much this past weekend. So yeah, but I saw that, and when I watched it, I just was like, that wasn't a burial to Julia. Julia is going to be fine. I don't think she's overrated. I don't think she's generic. I saw someone say that. I'm like, stop. I'm like, come on. It's just these two women are going to be the top, and then they won. This one went to Steph. Usually, the one that has the minor belt usually does win. It doesn't usually. You don't always see the one with the minor belt winning or losing. You know, but Seth did that. But to Cena. But anyway, but that was Jon Stewart's fault, and I still do not appreciate him for that. Agree. Some booking companies ignore the booking part. Yeah. What's up? Hey, Ron/April. Hope you all are doing well.
Hello.
Executive producer Ron is always watching. Um, but yeah, I thought that match was amazing. It lived up to the hype, especially when you basically booked it to be the main event. NXT with Shawn Michaels there is on really strong ground, and I can't wait to see what else is going to happen. That the TNA relationship is going to still keep working, um, and the talent's not going to suffer. By the way, there's a guy named Ricky Saints that wasn't even on the show,
But
and
but but was also
you heard the crowd because when they saw him and heard him, and she goes, "Well, next week," you heard the crowd go, "Oh!" I'm like,
right. You heard that's and you know what, CW, you hit it right there on the head.
yeah,
It's like imagine who was not on here. It's like think about that.
yeah.
Hey, what's up, A1? Yeah, listen. We're
We're gonna
gonna
talk
get to it.
about
We're gonna
BET
get to it.
SmackDown.
Jeez.
That was actually a really good segment. It really was. There's no BS on
But
that. I
it's
can't
like
even fake me.
yeah, it was good. It's
That was
like yeah. Oh, go ahead.
no. I was just saying that was just a good segment. I mean, hold on. And the memes that came out of it made it better.
Oh my
I
god.
did it for Bianca.
Yeah, it's like, and then they put Ricky. I'm like, you guys are going. You and but did you see the tweet that Naomi put out?
Oh God, yes. What was it? She said something about or she said something, or it's like, you are a bitch because you are a bitch, and she goes, and what's payback? I'm like, man, these two women are gonna cook.
It's oh my god, and then she tweeted out a picture of when Jade Cargill was on the car. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
the tweet of her.
oh my god, it's
And you know what's gonna happen if Bianca is a part of it? I still think she is.
yeah,
It's
me
gonna
too.
be
Yeah.
another one of them both, doing a tweet together in front of Jay.
It's gonna be so good. Like I say, theory still stands.
Yeah,
But but circling back to NXT,
yeah,
um, like it meant like when they heard Ricky Saints, it's like but then like I said, notice the people who weren't in matches but who they featured.
yeah.
Like, but here's to be more specific, Jada Parker was introduced with a segment with Mickey James. And then you saw my guy, my forever goat. We're not even gonna have a conversation about it. My guy, Mr. Listen,
You got
Undertaker. Listen, and then he was with Oba. It's
Dude.
like how everything is done just as much in the ring, but out of the ring. And then you saw Bubba Ray talking to Fraxium.
Yeah.
Like, Booker T was Booker T. But the point,
Oh boy, was he ever!
listen, Book, my guy,
Ah, ah.
Book. See, someone posted and I said, listen, he see when he does on NXT, when he does it like on CW, when he does it like regular, he does it, but he's not on camera when it's done. My guy was caught, and I said he was caught on 4K
Yes, he
doing it,
was.
and his wife was like, "That's gonna be a long. He's gonna take that plane back to Texas." Oh man! And don't you think she saw? I'm like, Book.
To be fair, she probably also does the following. Did the check clear? Yes. Okay, I'll let him live.
Right. Because listen, hey, Book's like, hey, what do you think Book's working? Like, hey, listen, them checks bounce, he's gonna bounce. So listen, so he's gonna get bounced. But it's like the way this was done from a production perspective was great. And you mentioned how with Eddie Thorpe and that like I thought that match was supposed to be booked for the PLE. I thought it was. I thought they advertised it for some reason, but maybe they didn't. I thought they did.
Well, I remember hearing in 2 weeks, and I was like,
So maybe my like it's
yeah,
like the Mandela effect is that I thought I heard it. Oh, Queen listen, she'll take that crown off and she's gonna forget for about 2 seconds she's Queen Charmel.
She will take the crown off and turn into Brandy Rhodes going, "This ain't open mic night, bitch."
Man, I swear that I'm gonna do that in public one day. When a whole bunch of people are talking about nonsense. I'm like, hey, can I borrow your megaphone? Sure. Who said it was open mic night? It just walked away.
It just has to hold on. But so who's gonna play Jade? As in, they're gonna pat you on the ass when you turn around. I'm sorry. That was the one scene that I always forget about because I remember watching the whole thing and I went, "Oh my god, I forget about that one part afterwards." Because Brandy was ripping.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's one of the things that AEW really got right. Like that whole thing in the annals of AEW history, that's gonna last forever. But like I said, NXT Roadblock was great. The production was fantastic, and like the TNA partnership, everybody's winning. You're seeing crossover. Like I'm not gonna call out a company, but see when you work with other companies, it's supposed to be mutually beneficial. Everyone's supposed to look great.
Yeah.
If one side looks really terrible and one side looks great, the partnership is terrible. Like I'm not talking about AOL Time Warner. I'm not talking about that. I'm like, hey, when we yeah. But the point is, I made a '90s joke and nobody got it. That's okay, guys. I know I'm old. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll let it soak in, and we're back. And but like I said, all in all, the production value was fantastic. The card was great. And now we're getting a path. We talk about WrestleMania, we're getting a path for Stand and Deliver as well. And so that's going to be equally as great as WrestleMania is going to be, in my opinion.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait for Stand and Deliver. And hold on, Eddie Thorpe, you're not the guy, pal. You're not
that guy, pal. Not that guy.
There's Kramer on side.
Oh my god! Listen, you see, John could have went 2 ways with that, but I know which way John went.
Yeah.
I know which way he went. Not Kramer, not Kramer not Kramer on the show. No, he meant no.
All right,
you know what, John? I'm not saying you're wrong, John. I'm not saying you're wrong.
We're not going to say you're wrong, John. You're actually, you know what? We're going to actually save that one. Actually, why frown upon that comment when it could be the star comment so far? So, all right, so gotta say, if you like NXT, you got to understand this is very developmental. The next one, and it's almost like the Fino. He said that Don takes care of NXT. Well, he takes care of Evolve. Well, look, we're going to take that step down with him. But here's the thing. I got to watch Evolve last week. And about a 47-minute show. So, you get their spots. You get to watch it. And I got to see some people. I got to see one of my guys I know, Sean Legacy, in the main event, which was awesome. And I got to go here. I like what they're doing. I mean, I do. They're not 100%, or they're not all the way there, but being a part with WWE, getting TV time, learning with wrestlers that have been through this, I don't know how you can't benefit. And I gotta go here, Rosenberg, who I'm not a big fan of, but Robbie E. or Stone, they did a good job calling the action. And like I said, I'm gonna watch it again. Like I said, I'm intrigued. Like I said, I was definitely there to watch it because I wanted to support my guy Legacy, and dude, he was shining out. I like the Cappuccino guy too, Cappuccino Jones.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was enjoyed because see, I've seen Legacy pull some of that moves off in a small bar where we had no ceiling, and he was still trying to do jump high top moves. So I mean, I'm like going, all right, man, you just a different animal. I'll allow this. No one else is doing this because I didn't trust him. But that man, my God, and not only that, it was just funny because I went said to myself, just looks different compared to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what do you think? I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I thought the women were actually pretty entertaining, also.
Yeah. The thing is, a couple of names that stood out to me, Callie Armstrong, that's potential right there.
Hmm.
Absolute potential. And even Kendall Gray,
Yeah.
the way she fantastic. Um, like you say, your guy Sean, fantastic. I think that whole match, like the
Yeah.
swipe left, the tag team, like when we
I
talk
liked it.
about
Yeah.
tag, it's like the swipe right. It's like because it does two things. It plays into a generation,
Yes.
and it also helps that they're pretty good too. So it doesn't come off gimmicky like they like. It was absolutely fantastic. And listen to your point about Peter Rosenberg and
Hmm.
Stone, it absolutely works. And even though it was just show one, it worked. And then the guy who was the sideline reporter the guy doing the calling the action, you know, so it makes it all the more interesting in that regard. So I think overall it's enjoyable, and I'm curious to see. We're going to see more stars in the coming weeks. That we all know, like Kaylee Ray, and then we haven't seen Zeta Steele, so we're going to see a lot more.
Hmm.
And listen, it's great, and it's just another way that WWE it's another branch for them, and just bringing and just finding talent, and they're scouting it and bring it. So they're truly trying to find the best to come in and compete and be the future generation. Because that's what essentially Evolve was. You look at when they ran that package of all those people, you saw Austin Theory, Drew Galloway, and you're seeing all of
Cody,
you're like, oh, Cody Rhodes, and then you saw the Street Profits. You're
Pop,
just
Johnny
yeah,
Gargano.
it's like that's if we get that sort of vibe that we got then for now, this is absolutely a home run decision.
Yeah. I'm digging it. I really am. I love being able to watch stuff from the ground up. And like I said, I mean, Shawn Michaels being a part of it, Ava was there. I liked it. I thought it was good. So, attaboy, keep it up, WWE, especially with Evolve. And what I like is Evolve is writing itself. It's not like, they're treating it with their own thing, but they have Shawn involved and everything. So I like that. I thought that was good. Do you guys ever watch speed matches? Craig, I really don't get to watch many. I've seen a few that pop in, and if like certain people are in it, I'll want to watch. Like I watched the Dominic Mysterio and Chris Sabin one. That was actually pretty good. And yeah, so I don't get to watch many speed matches. What about you, Ladarius? Do you? I don't.
Oh, you're referring to the speed matches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I saw the. I guess I prefer like the women's one when they do those. Those are great. Like
Yeah.
like I said, it's WWE for all it's worth. Like I said, they're trying to get as many people involved in as many things as possible.
Hmm.
And so, listen, those speed matches, they're great. And some like the hard hitting one. I think there was one with, oh, it was. Well, I don't want to, Pete Dunne. I'm not going to call him Butch. It was somebody. It was just so hard hitting, and it's like all that in 3 minutes. Like we're getting, it's fast paced, it's quick, and listen, I catch it from time to time when it comes on, or I just watch the replay of it. I think it comes on Wednesdays, I believe. It comes on I think it's something, but yeah. So yeah, it's good stuff. Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about it. Well, let's go into what review you want to go into, SmackDown or Raw? We're already in. We just went through NXT and Evolve, so we can talk about Raw or SmackDown. What do you want to hit?
We can do Raw. Let's do Raw.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's go to Raw then. I mean, look, as I like to remind people, this is just our views. We're going to speak our minds on this. So, with that being said, I know a lot of people have said that this show was not that great. I get it. But I love a cage match, and but we're not going to fluff everything. So let's call it what it is. All right. So look, we got Jey Uso versus Grayson Waller. We're not going to go over the whole match because God dang it, I'm just not doing it. But here's the thing I have to say. Gunther promised Jey Uso 7 weeks of hell, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dang. Let's hope Ladarius going to play off here. But all right. So he promised him 7 weeks of hell. I need Gunther to start living up to that because if it's, and I mean more beatdown versus the sleeper hold. I need him to attack Jey when he's coming down the aisle. I need him to attack Jey and actually attack him versus just put him in a sleeper. I like this match. I like that we're going to get it at Mania. But you're going to have to turn it up some notches. And not just that, but I need Jey Uso to start, at least turn the tables one time. Still get beaten up, but still have that baby face that he ain't going to give up. I think the crowd being behind him is great. I love that. I know people are still holding that match with him and his brother over his head, which I get it, but I wish you understand. Look, people picked him for a reason. They're okay with it. Okay, all right, good. Wonder, Ladarius, you back yet? Okay, all right, cool. All right, so look, what do you think, man? I mean, am I off base here, or is it just one of those that about Jey Uso, or what do you think?
I know there's some validity to it, but we got to understand, like I said,
I get
when you
the story, but what I'm saying is when Gunther as a champ says, "I'm going to make your life hell for the next,"
see
you
that's
have to do more than just a sleeper, in my
right. There has to be some sort of physicality, some sort of I don't want to say brutality to it. To just I know that it's a word you love with Rhea Ripley, but there's a certain level of brutality to it because it has to have something of substance to it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I feel that way about another WrestleMania match, but we'll get to that when we talk about SmackDown.
Oh, we will. Oh, we will.
Because I like basically everything that you said about this, I feel about the another WrestleMania.
I feel the same way about that one too, by the way.
It's just I think with Jey and Gunther, it's just that we go back, we focus on the words. Like we know Gunther said 7 weeks, there's 7 weeks of hell, and quite frankly, a sleeper hold just doesn't do it. And here's why. Because listen, I'm not saying anybody can put a sleeper hold on, but here's the thing: I don't recall when there was feuds between like The Rock and Stone Cold and Triple H. I never recall like maybe once or maybe like someone will go back and say, oh well, yeah, well this on back on Raw back in November 1998. Like somebody will go find and say, oh, like folks, how many episodes of Raw have there been? And it's like we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But the point is that when Gunther promises the physicality, we want more. I'm not saying we're not going to get that, but we need to see that on next week. Essentially, we need to see that.
Well,
we need to see it because it doesn't take away from how great the match is going to potentially be.
Yeah,
it's just that when we're building things up like this, and you go out and say something like that, we just want the words to equal the action. That's it. And
you don't want the match to be right here, but then by the end of the time we get to the pay-per-view, it's like middle, and we don't. It's like
Right. You need to have some sort of
shuffle it in, basically.
right. Make it feel equal, or even to a certain degree, make the action a little bit higher than the match, and then by the time the match comes and the storytelling, it's right up there at WrestleMania. It's right there, and it's right there. I think that's why I say, to your point, there's a lot of validity in what you're saying.
Yeah,
Is
and
that
see,
it's not a terrible take at all.
and I'm not going after Jey Uso. I'm actually
Right. No. I think none of us are. We're just looking at it like, expectations. I think that's
I'm looking at it when I look at Jay, or it's like I need Gunther to just elevate.
right, because we've seen Jay open, a couple of Raws since he won at the Royal Rumble. And we want Gunther to kind of match that, not say open every Raw, but kind of match it. We just want to see more of the brutality that we were promised. Yeah. He said 7 weeks of. And then John's here saying, I'll say Penta's promo was good, but I'm over Penta and Kaiser. Can we please, for the love of God, get this feud? It's not helping.
We'll talk about it, because they got a match coming up that I'm actually really looking forward to. Actually, I can't be too mad. All right, first of all, Logan Paul comes out, and I swear to God, I did not know this guy was an actual celebrity. I thought he was the wrestler that used to be in Bond Villains. I really did. I was just like, oh, he straightened his mustache out. Oh, he's lost a lot of muscle. And then they showed his name. I'm like, that's not his name. I'm like, oh, my bad. My
bad. Oh no.
Logan Paul ripped up his shirt. Logan said that his soul's for sale. And of course, AJ Styles came in and he wants to fight. Look, basically they're teasing a Logan Paul, AJ Styles. That, if you can't figure that out, I don't know what to tell you. But we'll talk more about that in later. Honestly, I think if anything, that's a good first step. But I don't want to. Of all that we're talking about, trust me, I think there's so much more we can talk about. We got New Day versus Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and apparently a red, white, and blue masked man attacked. And some say he's Chad Gable. Some say he's a mystery man. Some say he's from Mexico. All I know is this: is that mask is for sale at WWEShopZone.com if you'd like to buy it right now. And yes, I've heard someone actually has bought the said mask. That will be hilarious to see that mask. We never got the payoff to Chad and oh no, John. No, John. We're gonna get it, because I'm pretty confident that Dark Side Lucha bit it was Chad Gable. I mean, look. And then he did the best. I think the best part of all of this was when he was in the face of Kathy Kelly. She goes, "Look, it was you. We're not stupid." And someone got arrested.
Oh my God! And then I went on Twitter and said, "Listen, y'all owe that man an apology." Hey, Miss Christie, how are you?
Welcome to the fam. We miss you.
It's like I think Kathy, you're a great journalist, but you owe that man an apology. He told you.
I think she's on something. I always go.
Hey, listen, I'm not one to doubt Kathy Kelly, but we did see a guy who was wearing the same attire as Chad Gable get arrested. So, I understand, it's New York. Hey, people look, listen, it's a melting pot. People dress it, but listen, how could Chad Gable have done it if they already got the guy in custody? Listen, I'm not saying it's airtight, but I'm just saying
you're poking holes in the conversation. Let's just put it that way. I can see the argument. I can see the argument being made. We're not gonna,
And that was sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. So let's talk about this. The mustache. Dominic Mysterio. I need to find out the connections this man has. He's one of those that you go, hey, I need a watch. You need a watch? Come here, I know a guy. Hey, I need a stereo. Come here, I know a guy. This man is becoming I know a guy. Because How does this man get another man an Intercontinental title shot? Oh boy, Finn Balor, who has been crapping on Dom. Dom's like, got you, man. Intercontinental title match, Braun Breaker. Yeah, got you. And Finn, of course, does the hug. And of course, I love it. The mustache spoke before the eyes. But he's like, watch it. I don't know if we're getting a beat down or not, but I'm hoping that Dominic somehow is involved in a Intercontinental title feud here soon. We'll talk more about that. But I mean, look, what do you think? I mean, and by the way, Carlito still stealing the scenes from everybody the way he's reacting by everything.
Let's see. Oh, Devin's in the chat. Yes, Devin. Oh my God. Yeah. Yes, I did. And let me tell you something.
It was beautiful.
Oh man. And I posted on my Instagram, I put in my story, and I'm like, listen. Folks, listen.
You know, he did the first 450 splash. They showed the video.
Yeah. I saw the video too. Yeah, it's like
I saw the video and I'm going, damn, Steiner actually hit it damn perfect.
Right. It's
Dude,
like
Scott Steiner back in the day when he was younger. Oh,
you could listen when we're talking. Like I'll put it this way: young Steiner, peak Steiner.
mm-hmm.
No, I tell people this.
Steiner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. And here's the thing. And first of all, I don't know if I said hello, Devin, but
what's up,
Devin? The thing is simply this. Just go to show, just a little off track. We'll get back on track. Okay. Is that listen? It's one thing when one person says you're not great, I'm not a great human being, but listen. But like when Seth Rollins was at the when they're doing the Tops opening and he it's like everybody's ripping. It's like this. If you didn't believe what happened on Raw, be like, okay, why are they like listen, when they boo you before you show up and then you see the Titantron, that's never good. I mean, we've seen people, and I go back and make this same point. It's political to an extent, but it's just that Hulk Hogan's not a great human being. Like, and listen, I go back to that trial when involving his daughter, and he was caught on he was caught in 4K, basically saying how he felt. Like I'll put it this way, how he felt about people who look like me. People are like, and people were other wrestlers were like, oh, we're not surprised at that. Like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, they're not.
When we heard it, we were shocked. Some of us were, but like the Scott Steiners and these people who wrestled with Hogan in the 80s and the 90s, they were not shocked, and that should have let you know then the type of human being he was. I'm not here to talk about character, but listen, when Scott Steiner, when Big Papa Pump digs into you, and he's never been afraid to say what he was on his mind whatsoever, I said, listen, he was cooking. Listen, he's not the only person. Listen, I'm not going to say what Scott said on Chris Van Fleet. I'm not going to say that. I'm trying to keep the show on the air. So, yeah, get the, with Scott, you got to get the 1 second delay. You can't get the 7 second. He'll find a way to get past it.
Yeah, he will.
But it just goes to show you. But it just goes to show you. Listen, character matters. Listen, you can be a great wrestler, but a terrible human being. I think that's Terry Bollea. So, okay, so mini rant over.
Yeah,
and back to
look. We say we're diverting from a different subject. I mean, we were talking about Braun Breaker. So look, that's the uncle. So guess what? It's fair. I love the interview too. I got to hear more of that. I mean, Scott does. It's like this: when you get wrestlers that don't care, that's the best kind of interview. And then so from Hulk Hogan to John Cena to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes does the promo now, reminding people, and people were like mad about. Well, I'll say who was mad versus all people. But basically, Cody was reminding people next week in Brussels, John Cena is supposed to come out and tell us why. He's going to be there to make sure his presence is felt. So all I'm going to say to that, because I heard someone go, "Oh God, this is getting stale. Cena should have said something this week. Why didn't we do that?" It's like, again, IWC. I don't give a damn if your popsicle is melting. Eat the damn popsicle. Stop being a bitch about it. I'm sorry. My God, it's called long-term booking. We even said it. Hey, March 17th, he's gonna speak. So if you're March 10th and you expected Cena to say something, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Okay? So I know the 17th he's gonna. And what do you want? It's like this. It's Madison Square Garden. MSG, the big place where they really like making moments. So of course Cody's going to be there. He's the champ. It's not like it was in Bumblefuck, New Mexico. No, he was somewhere of importance. So and he's the captain. And I love that captain line, by the way. I'm the captain now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna try it. Yeah.
So, and that's basically what he's saying. Never meet. He will defeat his hero, and 17 won't happen. So I'm happy about. I look forward to the Cody and Cena thing. I can't wait next. By the way, next week the Raw is going to be at 3:00, and that's very important for me and Ladarius because we were watching and we were going, 3:00. That's something. I guess we kept thinking, yeah, it'll be at 8:00 still. I mean, I guess we could rewatch it at 8, but kind of want to watch it live. I mean. Hey, at least they're not in China, because then we have to watch it at 1:00 in the morning or 2:00. So,
Yeah. Listen, folks.
all right, let's talk about it. Bailey and Raquel, gotta go here. This match was dead. I mean, it was tough to watch. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was just the audience wasn't into it. The crowd just wasn't feeling it, and I get it, but it's just sometimes you have those matches, and I mean, I'm happy that they let Raquel win because we Liv wanted Raquel to challenge for the Intercontinental title. I like that, but it just felt kind of off for me. What do you think about this match?
I kind of echo those sentiments. Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of echo those sentiments. I was trying to multitask, but I echo those sentiments because here's the thing: like, I love Bailey, but listen, and I'll put it like this: not every match can be a winner.
Yeah.
And listen, and it's nobody's fault. It's just like when the crowd is not into and they're not feeling it. And listen, it's Madison Square Garden, so if they're not getting into it, doesn't mean it was a terrible match. It just felt, I guess, people just couldn't get into it, which is fine. But
Andrew's mustache dipped a little. That's all.
yeah,
I'm sorry. That guy looked so much like that wrestler. I could not get over that.
and it just, all in all, I'm happy for Raquel because it just feels that it's great to see her being attacked, but a potential shot at getting a singles title, I'm not upset. And because when Raquel first debuted, like, it wasn't the greatest debut in the world. Now it's some, but especially how she reportedly missed the cue to come out and do whatever.
Yeah, that wasn't the best spot.
Wasn't the best. But what I will say is that I'm curious to see how this all goes now, because with Lyra and the IC title, you can go a lot of different ways now. And it doesn't feel like we're with Becky Lynch potentially on the horizon. We don't know how the IC title picture is going to look between now and WrestleMania. It's assumed that Lyra's going to retain. It's assumed, because if they stick to the Becky Lynch path, then Lyra will, round about this time next month at WrestleMania, she'll still be the IC champion. But as for the match itself, it it wasn't hard to watch. It was just difficult. It was just difficult to see. You know, listen, I really like Bailey.
I
I
don't think
really do.
it's a bad thing on
You know,
this.
yeah, and the
You
thing is,
know?
yeah, like I said, it was hard to watch because I love Bailey.
Yeah,
To
same
me,
here.
and that doesn't mean Bailey's terrible. Listen, it goes to show that hey, to me, it was still a decent and watchable match. It wasn't like there's matches that are just completely unwatchable. This one was watchable, and maybe Raquel and and excuse me, and Bailey, the chemistry, maybe that's I don't know, but all I know is that the crowd wasn't into it. Probably some people at home weren't into it. Like I enjoyed it because it's Bailey, but but maybe other people did, which is okay. It's just about now seeing what happens with Raquel, and and what's next for Bailey, because listen, it's do we get Bailey and Roxanne? That to me is the question. After she lost, I'm like, okay, I think they're going down that path. Because if she would have won, and I think you made this a point that if she would have won, we could have had maybe a triple threat, maybe a fatal four for the women's IC title. You made that point.
Yeah.
Because I said, man, that's a great idea. And you said, oh yeah. I said, oh yeah, C-Dub came up with it. I don't come up with things on the show. It's all C-Dub. It's not me. I don't come up with anything.
You come up with good.
I don't come up with anything. So I just show up with
Look,
a piece of paper.
Come up with the beat Eddie. Oh wait a minute, we can't read that one. My bad.
Aha. My notes. No way. My notes. No. But like I have a few good ideas from time to time. But I'm curious to see what happens with Bailey's path. Hopefully we get Bailey and Raquel at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Now that looks like Raquel is done with NXT and now it's going to be in Raw, maybe we'll see what the path is opened up there. Let's talk about it. The women's segment. It was women's title. Io Sky with the title. I'm not mad. I'm okay. Rhea, on the other hand, I've been dealing with that. Don't worry. But Bianca comes out and basically tried to apologize for the disrespecting by last week where she put her hands on mommy and everything, but yet then Rhea comes out, and I love this article says it best. If it wasn't apparent that we're getting a triple threat match, guess what? We're getting a triple threat match because all three has to be in this match. Because Rhea went ballistic, and what was hilarious is both Rhea and Bianca pie facing Io, and then Io slapping them both. And I mean, and one of the takeaways this person had was Bianca entering the arena more subdued, less flashy, but a woman still reeling from a drama of the last week. Or perhaps someone who's trying to get empathy from the audience since she's not the victim, but she wants to play victim for Jade Cargill. Now I'm going, I am hoping, and my little Mark Hart, because I feel the same way, is we need to see Bianca heel. Because I'm hoping that all this is, and I just saw the damn John Hulk Hogan tried all my feet. Rise up, Christy. All right, but oh my God, I think you meant beer, but okay, but yeah, I'm not drinking that beer. I heard it gets people sick. What do you think about it, man? We are gonna get trip with these women. Oh, Hulk Hogan tried my American beer. No thanks. I'd rather drink Sprite. Oh, no. I got some in the fridge. All right, and we got. Oh, hold on. We've got Carrie from the Morning Madness crew. She's like, C-Dub and Ladarius, I hope y'all are doing well and have a great show. And we hope you're doing well too, Carrie. And get ready tomorrow. We're gonna have a fun show. I cannot wait to talk all things that is Kirk Cousins and Falcons related mess. And free agency, because we got to ask questions like DK Metcalf playing with George Pickens in the sandbox. This will be fun. Can't wait. All right. So, Darius, go ahead and speak on your mind because we've got the main event steel cage match to talk about.
No, first of all, I want to backtrack, say hi, Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for the show tomorrow. And I get
Okay, Devin.
Jesus. We got to start screening these comments better. We got to start these.
I was gonna go to work.
Jesus.
Go
Anyway,
ahead.
now I forgot what you wanted me to talk about. Now,
Potential triple threat with the women.
okay,
Bianca, Io, and
okay, gotcha.
you're on track. Don't worry.
Look, I'm not mad at it. I think we both can agree that this was the path that was going to potentially happen, especially after Bianca won the chamber match. And once again, and it's like what we talked about early on in the show. It's like if you book this properly, this is going to be a fantastic match. And Carrie, like Carrie's right, women's wrestling right now is so exciting. And as someone who's written, who writes about it, someone who did their final project in college about women's wrestling, it's and the strives and the paths that have been made. I like this match simply because, like, and I think someone made the point. Like, listen, what Io did, Io was standing on business. Okay, like everyone forgot that. Oh, Io's the champion, right? Like, and people wonder why. Oh, why did Rhea lose the belt? That's why, because this was all set up to make Io really the underdog. If you look at it, if someone said, who do you think is going to win the triple threat, respectfully, like no matter how you rearrange Bianca 1, Rhea 2, or however, most people wouldn't have Io winning that triple threat match.
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect to how great and phenomenal Io Sky is. And that's how the storyline is. What we saw in the ring, we just saw Io was just getting disrespected, getting pushed by both Rhea and Bianca. Like, get out of here. This is between me and that's what makes this storyline great. And that's what makes me excited. Because, like I said, I preach storytelling, and then it ties into the point that Craig made. Like, the reason why we don't do triple threat because of the booking. This books itself properly. And like I said, I trust the people in charge of booking and producing these matches to tell the story. Because there's a story. We saw how Io, the champion, is the underdog.
Yeah.
In most of these matches, the champion's supposed to be kind of like favorite. No. People look at Rhea's resume, they look at Bianca's resume, and then there's Io. And because in fact, most people, we're still getting on. I don't think. Listen, people probably wanted Rhea versus Bianca, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, like, and it's once again no disrespect to Io. It just goes to show you the way she's being booked. Like she's booked as being the underdog, and she's the champion. And that whole promo when she slapped the bejesus out of him, like she was like, "Hey, I exist," and I'm like, I did a little fist pump. Like, that's how you book. That's how you do a great story. Because Io is not the favorite to win this match. That's the goal of the storyline. Like that's the goal.
You could hold on. You actually could have a argument. A lot of these women ain't the favorite. Like they'll look at Bianca as the favorite because she's never lost.
Exactly, and that's yeah.
Rhea, and I don't mean to, but I'm just saying, Rhea's never beaten Io. Rhea has to also realize that Bianca's never been beaten at WrestleMania, so there's a couple of things.
Yeah.
So it almost makes you go, wow, everybody in this prism here all is being looked at differently. You look at it from Rhea's view, you're going, oh wow. But then you look from Io. These women think I'm not the women's champ. They're just pushing me around.
And I think, and that's the focal point of the storyline.
I'm the victim. Everyone's coming for me.
Yeah, and I think that's the focal point of the storyline. Well, you took a little air out of my balloon, but that's okay.
Oh,
no, you're okay. No. But your point is valid. Your point. No. So no. I said my 2.5 cents. So.
But no. Well, hold on. I wanted to ask you this too because I was excited about it because you were getting me all with your points. So what? So you've heard the rumor, I believe, because you write for Women's Wrestling. Oh Lord, this guy.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Punk is a big look, Berto. Look. If you want to join in this thing, go into the group chat. You can see the StreamYard link. Join the party, okay? And you could vent a little bit about CM Punk not going to WrestleMania or not being in the main event.
Oh
But if
boy.
you would like to, be a part of the show, you have an invite. Ah,
Also, like to promote, like Berto has a show tonight at 9:30 as
oh
well.
yeah,
So if you so Berto, listen, we're pumping your stuff. Listen, if you listen, you might get some singing. Listen, I haven't sung on a show in a while.
yeah.
So
We could do the, I could do the Dave Chappelle, Rick James thing. Come on.
Berto's like Berto's like, and for that reason, I'm out. No,
Yeah.
he's like between these two guys, like bro.
But so what did you think of hearing the rumor for Evolution 2, the women's all women's pay per view?
I absolutely love it. Shout out. Yeah, so shout out to Berta. Listen, check it out. If I don't catch it live, I'll definitely catch the replay. Like before I get into my stuff, Berto's absolutely amazing. Check out his stuff. It's first class stuff, and just check his stuff out as well. Absolutely amazing and all that. And even a lot of people in this chat, like Carrie and Chris, and like check out all these amazing people as well. Like I say, I'm just the guy who shows up. That's what I do. I'm the guy that shows up. They hand me a piece of paper. I say some words. But anyway, I'm excited because if there was a time to do it, it's now. It's like we talked about how deep you could do an evolution just for the NXT roster alone. You don't need like respectfully, you don't need the Raw or SmackDown superstars. Like respectfully. Oh Lord, John.
Oh man, come on! Why you gotta do it like that, John?
And listen, what's wrong with Carlito? Carlito, you mean former?
Carlito's great, man.
Former Intercontinental Champion Carlito. Like, let's put some respect on his name.
And he's won the tag titles before.
And it's okay. Well, listen, like I said, former Intercontinental and tag team champion. Yeah. So listen, but my thing is going. I'm excited for it because you could book. I can think of at least maybe 5 matches you could do just from the NXT Women's division alone. Like we got Raquel versus Vakor. You could potentially have something with, the women's tag team. You could have, like I say, however the tag team situation is, whenever it's happening,
you could have potentially Julia versus Stephanie rematch.
Versus what now?
Stephanie versus Julia, the rematch.
You could, yeah.
That would be
now. Once again, that's why, folks. I'm not the smart guy. See, doubles I just show up. I might not show up for tomorrow's morning show because I'm going to screw that up too.
No. I need you. I'll be.
No, listen. You got Carrie and Rod. You're great. Yeah.
I need you.
I just show up and be like, "Where's my script?" No. If you believe some people, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. But
not.
But my thing is that listen, I'm thinking. I gotta think ahead. So we could get that rematch. I think we could kind of get, like, it's going to be interesting. By that point, I would like maybe that's the situation where you could have like a ladder match for the women's North American title. Mm-hmm. I think if you were going to do it, that would be the opportunity you could do it. Oh wow, there's just so many. Listen, and then you can have Jada and all, whatever. However, you could
solid Intercontinental title match. You can have solid US title.
You can bring like listen, we're already getting Chelsea Green versus Sol Ruka. You can have Lyra come back potentially, challenge maybe Zarya, maybe Kalani Jordan. So and it's like Lyra. So you can, if you do it, build. I when I saw that, I was absolutely excited because I said, you can include the main roster if you want to, but you really don't have to. You can now with the women's mid-card titles, you can include, and it's going to be a great pay-per-view. Because the reason why I feel they haven't done one is just people weren't receptive to it and the confidence in it. So, but I think there's a call for it, and like Carrie mentioned earlier, women's wrestling, fantastic. Like as someone who's covered and wrote it, it's I want it so bad, and there's so many others that do. And I'm just looking forward to whenever that becomes a reality.
So I look forward to it. I think that'll be fun. Also, what was fun was this cage match. And I know a lot of fans were behind Punk. Um, you know, Seth was playing the heel role in this, even though he was the face. But I know a lot of people were getting aggravated with the multiple GTS, multiple curb stomps, multiple pedigrees. And I'm going to end this real quick. So you would rather have Will Ospreay do a Spanish fly and still kick out, but yet you're going to be mad about the GTS kick out. I mean, come on. I mean, that fucking. I'm sorry, I try not to cuss, but that match, that stupid cage match that they did, the one that we saw on Monday night was a legit cage match. I know, no color, but guess what? They hate each other. They made it very clear in the comments how leading up, they want to do everything they can to stop them for WrestleMania. So that's what made them push beyond themselves. I'm not going to get beat by the GTS. I don't care if you hit it 1,000 times. I'm still kicking out because I hate you that much. I'm not going to lose to your curb stomp, even if you stomp my head 1,000 times. That's how I felt that was going to go. The screw finish at the end, I get it. People were mad. You know what? Seth needed to win the match eventually. I didn't see Punk getting pinned. I didn't see him getting tapped. Roman came out and beat the holy bejesus out of Seth, and then beat Roman after, or beating up CM Punk after he was touching on his wise man. Roman, you need to stop being so sensitive about that. But yeah, when I saw that cage match on AEW's Revolution, I know everyone loves Will Ospreay. I've seen one Will Ospreay match. I've seen them all. Flippy flips, no sell, kick out at one. Oh, I love power, and he wants to say if that was on WWE, people would whack off. Dude, you probably wouldn't be the beginning match. I hate to break it to you because you don't want to tell a story. What Punk and Seth did was tell a story of hate, how they despise each other, and how it's going to carry them through this whole WrestleMania season. This was just an appetizer. And I know it's crazy because you used a cage. But I love it. And I'm just glad they didn't do nothing stupid to try to match, a top cage spot like, those idiots. I'm sorry, but man, when I saw that damn, not just the Spanish fly, I saw the Styles Clash get kicked out of in thumbtacks. And the guy kicked out at one. I'm like, what the? Are we just doing moves to do moves today? So I was mad about it. I'm sorry. I'll get off my soapbox. But but when I saw this cage match, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the crowd, and I loved all the stuff that you looked for Rollins, Roman, and now CM Punk. How does the favor come in? We don't know anything yet. We just now have ingredients. How they mix, we'll find out when we get the lab. Maybe I shouldn't say lab. But go ahead, Ladarius. What do you think about that match?
Anytime CM Punk and Seth Rollins are fighting, I'm already hooked. So I wouldn't go the route of Roberto. Maybe CM Punk is the victim. I don't know. The more I chew on it, I'm like, yeah. I think it's one of those things where like 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 to your point, like multiple, the stomps and the like everyone, like I said, getting their stuff in. Like I go back to the point that anytime those two are in the ring together, I'm automatically sold. And like I say, the ending was perfect. The ending was ideal because Roman Reigns, if he was going to attack anybody in that match, it was going to be Seth Rollins. So hey, Seth, good news, bad news. So you won the match technically, but you got to take this beat down. And then CM Punk's like, oh, I'm free. No, he was not. And then he turns around and sees Paul Heyman, his guy, with with the OG Paul Heyman guy and CM Punk. And I'm like, there's the intrigue. Now, like I said, that seems to be the theme. Like I said, it's a callback to earlier in the show. When you have the triple threat between, it's going to be Roman, CM Punk, and Seth. The story is there. The match is going to be great because, like I said, we don't know the favor, how that comes into play, and that just adds intrigue. So I just need people who are worried about just calm down. Mm-hmm. It's going to get a resolution. Like, yeah. So, but as far as the match, doing a steel cage match, you do Madison Square Garden. You got to put on the show. And listen, both of those guys know how to put on an absolute show, and it's exactly what they did. Having Roman Reigns come out, chef's kiss. And now, once again, people got to understand, this is what happens when you just be patient. When you're patient, just wait for it. Just wait for it. Like, stop. Don't expect, like, when you put stuff in the microwave, it's going to be great. But you let it cook in the oven, it can taste a little bit better. I'm not arguing against, what's better, microwave or oven. I'm just saying is that some people like it to me. I prefer like stovetop popcorn. Like I have a popcorn maker, but I can still eat out of the microwave. It doesn't matter. It's just that if you want like to have more patience, you do the popcorn popper. You do it on the stove. But people want that microwave. I want it now. This is what happens when you let things grow and you let things happen. You get this triple threat match that's built for months since last year, and this is what you get. And listen, it's going to be absolutely amazing. The match was great. And now it's just anticipating the promos and what's going to be ahead, for all three on the road to WrestleMania.
I look forward to it. I really do. I think when you have Roman, Seth, Punk involved in this, those minds, it's not going to be a waste. I know everybody wants. It's almost like this. Once you see it, now you want to know what the next thing is, and it's like, guys, calm down. Just like with the Cena thing, we all. That's why when they said, "All right, March 17th," it's like you knew it wasn't going to be next week. It wasn't going to be this past Monday. It was going to be Tuesday. So just wait, okay? No need to be in a hurry. Just watch and get ready for it. Not everything's going to hit. It's fine. But I guarantee you by the time WrestleMania comes around, you're going to be excited. By the way, it was really cool. And another stupid thing I saw on the internet because people were being stupid. So Lex Luger is going to the Hall of Fame. And it showed a clear thing where it says February 16th, 2025. I wonder why they did that. Oh, Cody Rhodes is coming to see him. Oh, Cody Rhodes looks great. Cody, what you doing? Oh, man, not much. Hey, we want to tell you you're going to the Hall of Fame. Oh! And I had someone go, how fake is Cody? He wasn't really hurt. And all I could think was, apparently you didn't watch the part where it showed February 20 or 16th of 2025. Shut up. And by the way, I'm happy for Luger. Talk about someone, where we talked about Hogan and Scott Steiner. And Luger's had a rough life. And, to turn around what he has turned around, happy for him. And, man, DDP's working with angels, I tell you. Because the work he's done to help these guys is amazing. What did you think about the Luger thing? And, if you want to talk about
that. Long overdue. Yeah. And I think, come on. that John, that might partly be true. I like my money. I'm not.
Wait a minute, we get paid.
But whoops.
I need to talk to you
about that checkup. That's a nice jacket. Get out of here.
Go ahead.
But listen, long overdue, and to your point, listen. Everyone likes the path that Lex Luger's taking it goes to show you that, you know, like everybody's story is not made equal. And if you look at the class so far,
Yep.
you know, especially the individual, if you look at Triple H, you look at Michelle McCool, and you look at Lex, all
And
three
also
different
the
stories.
natural disasters too,
Um,
the natural disasters, I believe.
oh, you know, I was saying individuals. I was, yeah,
Yeah. My bad.
yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
I can think on my own, and this man's telling me I can't. I,
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about old Fred, the
oh,
Shockmaster. Hopefully, Haku will induct him.
oh God. Hey, can we run that back?
Dude,
Let's run it.
what was it? Someone said they hope that Fred brings out the Shockmaster mask,
Yeah.
so he just comes out with it.
Come on, wear it. Come on. I don't wanna. Come on, wear it. Do the thing.
Fred.
You see, Sting, what are you doing here? I just came to see this too again.
You know, that's interesting. Let's ask the question because Luger says he's got two guys he wants to induct them: DDP or Sting. I say let him do it. I say get Sting in. If you could get
Yeah.
Sting, get him. Why not? He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And then not only that, it's like, listen, Sting and Luger, listen, go check out some of their matches.
Oh, their tag matches and their wrestling matches.
Yeah. So whether just check out their matches, tag team and otherwise. Just there's no excuse because WCW is on. So there's no excuse that you can just Google it. Not Google it. Hell, go on YouTube, Google their name. Type in their names, whatever else. But I think with this clash, what you're seeing from the individual, like, because I wrote about Michelle McCool almost 3 years ago that she should have been a Hall of Fame. Triple H, who, listen, in my brain thought, well, he's already in the Hall of Fame, but I said for DX and for he's not in individually, and it's like, what? And it's like, and I understand why Triple H doesn't. I guarantee you, he was offered multiple times again. He just said no because it's not about him, and because that's the type of person he gives off those vibes. But like going back to Lex Luger, like the story, like if you're following the story with him and DDP Yoke, like it's I get you Google it. You can go on YouTube and just follow the journey, and it listen, and then for Luger to be able to be inducted, it's just absolutely amazing. Long overdue, but listen, sometimes it's about patience. And I think that's the lesson Luger, patience. If anyone's been, Luger, given times in his life, patience and the things that happened to him, it's a great story, and everyone likes a great story. And I'm very happy for him. Yeah. And like I say, Sting has to be in my opinion, has to be the guy, given their history as partners and as opponents.
If they bring, like I said, first of all, I got to say this. Diamond Dallas Page needs to have his own ring.
Yeah.
Just incredible outreach as this man does work, because he is on another level. I mean, really. I mean, that speaks for itself. And his heart, his caringness, it's a beautiful thing. And then Luger, I'm happy for Luger. And like I said, it should not be a thing. It should not be a problem. I think Sting should be able to go onto WWE programming and induct his best friend. That is one of his closest friends still to this day. So, Sting is not like turned on Luger and shit like that. He's been a friend to him for a long time. So big ups to the Hall of Fame. I can't wait. They're gonna have they're actually gonna be in a different building, kind of more like a private setting type deal. I like that. Get it out of the arena, because I really didn't like fans wanting the inductees. It's like, come on now, let's not do that. Just have a band play them off the stage. The way it's supposed to be done. All right, let's talk about SmackDown. Now, look, we're not going to go over everything, but let me put it this way: when you're doing your rundown and you get Claymore in the middle of it, do you think the show started? Because I think so. Drew McIntyre about murdered Damian Priest as soon as he walked into the building. I mean, that was one of my favorite moments watching SmackDown. And of course, Joe Tessitore's reaction. Oh, why would he do a thing like that? It's like, Joe, you're awesome. Keep never change, Joe. But we had Randy Orton doing his promo. He's criticizing Kevin Owens, of course, but also makes a wonderful, tasteful joke about John Cena and The Rock, about bottoms. And then I wanted just to kind of, brush certain things because I know there's certain things we definitely want to go over. Tiffany Stratton went against Piper Niven. Not a bad match. Actually, I like Piper. I know you like Piper. And I'm going to give you the floor because Tiffany, we saw what happened. Tiffany wins. Charlotte comes in, locks in the figure 4 or figure 8. Go ahead and go. You can talk about everything. You can hit that one, and review that WrestleMania because you said you had the same feeling about a certain match. I'm just wondering, could it be this match?
Oh, sorry about that, match. I dozed off. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. My bad.
Daylight saving time is still,
Oh, I know. It's kicked my butt too.
Here's the problem. And people may think, oh well, Charlotte, Derek doesn't like Charlotte Flair. Listen. I tried to be objective about this. Here's the thing. I'm excited for the match at WrestleMania, but as far as this build goes, listen, just let these two be naturally who they are. We gotta stop forcing things upon people. Listen, let Charlotte be a heel. Let Tiffany was on a face run. Now I don't like. Let these two phenomenal superstars be who they are, because Charlotte feels forced in trying to be either a face or a tweener. I don't know what she is. All I know is right now, as we're weeks away from WrestleMania, if I'll put it this way, I'm still excited for the match, but this build, something's got to be done, because at the end of the day, while I rank Charlotte fourth of the four horsewomen, she's easily you can make a case the most decorated female superstar in the history of WWE, which is saying a lot.
Yeah.
So I just feel that just let Charlotte be naturally who. I understand you want to tell the story. She's coming back from injury, blah blah blah. Cool, great story. Let her be a heel. Let Charlotte do what Charlotte does best, because I feel that they're trying to pigeonhole her into doing something that the crowd, like even with the crowd, it's doing a heck of a lot better than it was in Cleveland, but it could be better. And I feel that Tiffany is, to me, Tiffany is the face in all of this. Let Charlotte be the heel, because if you want to do that dynamic, Charlotte is the natural heel. Like when Charlotte's face runs, I didn't hate them, but I didn't like them either. I was neutral. I was Switzerland on it. I was not Germany. I was not France. I was Switzerland. I was like, oh, great. Yeah, I like it, but I don't like it. Let Charlotte be who she is. Let Charlotte be this natural heel. Let Tiffany be the babyface. That's that's the narrative. I understand you're trying to tell the story of her injury, like I said earlier. But this is what happened. Listen, remember when we were all trying to be force-fed Roman Reigns as a face? We were not just spoon-fed it. We got the ladle, okay, and you poured it down our throats like it was nothing. And we were like, blah, blah, we don't want it. So what happened is that, wait a minute, this crowd really doesn't like Roman. Ha, got it. Make him a heel, and let's play into let's play into that. Let's play into the strengths of Roman Reigns. And then through time, he got better on the microphone. My whole point, C-Dub, is this. Just let Charlotte be Charlotte. because this version of Charlotte, and I feel that I'm not the only one who echoes those sentiments. It's just that this build is not great. I'm excited for the match, but if you were just someone say I need to get excited about Charlotte versus Tiffany, you wouldn't be excited. You would not be excited about it. And at the end of the day, we have time, just like with Gunther and Jay. There's time, but it just I need to. I guess it's like I say, whether the love of women's wrestling or whatever. But it's like, listen, I know I want heel Charlotte. Give me heel Charlotte. Let's stop messing around here. Let's stop screwing around here. Let Charlotte, because to my account, I believe she was the heel in her last couple of wrestle. So what are we trying to change the formula for? When she fought Asuka, she was the heel. When she fought Rhea Ripley, not once but twice at WrestleMania, to my knowledge, she was the heel. So now, why all of a sudden in our year 2025 at the 41st WrestleMania, why have we decided? Wait a minute, let's make Charlotte look. No, because listen, if you don't believe me, the crowd will tell you. You just made Tiffany a face after a long heel run between NXT and briefly on the main, for the time at the main roster. After you did that break, the thing with Nia Jax, you made her a face. Why is it that I still feel Charlotte wants to be the face too? And I'm like, this can't work. Like, it's a formula. Like, if you would have made her a tweener, like Charlotte a tweener, I'm like, cool. But listen, I've been listening to some of these promos, and I'm like, I don't know what you are. Just go back to being what you're great at being, because whatever this is, it's not doing it. And Charlotte is the most, like I said, super decorated. But listen, this is the problem I think that you had with Jay and Gunther. It's the problem I had with Charlotte and Tiffany. It's just that I just need more. Like, okay, Charlotte, we get it. You put a figure eight, awesome, great. But we need more. I need more than that. Just let these two be absolutely who they are. I'm telling you, CW, it's going to be much better. I'm done.
All right. Trying to find a tweet that this great philosopher said on a Friday night. Great. Love it. Nope. Reunion. Love that. Ah, hell, can't Look, I really feel the same way you do when it comes to Charlotte. And Charlotte, here's why. Charlotte, I think, needs to just embrace that she's the regardless. She has put that kind of equity in it. It is what it is. All right. Not everyone is booing her like they did at that they did over at Cleveland. So there is that. All right, and I'm okay with it. But here's what I want to say. My problem is actually with Tiffany, or maybe creative, because Tiffany still comes off sounding like a heel when she's the face, and it's very confusing. And you want to get behind her, like she is get her rest. She has gotten her wrestling style to get behind, get behind. Her and Charlotte are gonna have a hell of a match. All right, I don't need to tell y'all or try to sell y'all about how good this match will be. But what I will say, I think character-wise, you're gonna have to get them to play up to the role. Charlotte's got to embrace being the heel, which she should not have a problem. And I will say, I think it's harder to be a great face than it is to be a great heel. It should be easy to get people to hate. Wish I had some Fritos. I would throw it in my chili. But But yeah, that's something that I noticed um, in this. And yeah, they need it's like this. The one thing also I was gonna say, man, can Charlotte get beat up now? We need something where Tiffany starts getting some payback. All right, where with Gunther, he was, Jay has had some fight back. We need now Tiffany to like this week. They're going to be in Barcelona. Charlotte's going to go against BFAB. I need Tiffany to show up and beat Charlotte's ass, especially after being put in the figure eight. You need to kick some ass so the people can get behind you. So that's just my thought there. Now, I wanted to touch on the Randy Orton thing. I love Randy. Let's not give him such a long time with promos. Could we? I mean, because there's just sometimes he does the old man rumble or ramble, and I know his dad did it a long time ago. His grandfather, they all have it. Okay, when they get to that certain age, they got that ramble. So look, just when they start ramble, hit the mute mic or call another wrestler in there to fight him. That's how you should end that. Just a little helpful hint. Take it from your trusty C-Dub. Learn the habits of an old wrestler. At least he's not crapping in duffel bags. All right, now, by the way, great video thing with Nick Aldis explaining the tag team turmoil mess. I loved it. I loved the whiteboard and all that. I thought that was great. Ladarius, you were very happy about this particular team beating the Guns and the Gazas. They are now the number one contenders for the winner of DIY versus the Profits this coming Friday in Barcelona. So I'm gonna let you take lead. What did you enjoy about that match? Well, what has you so smitten about Pretty Deadly?
Listen,
Are you as smitten as Wade Barrett is the question.
I mean, I'm not saying me and Wade Barrett have conversations off the show, but what I'm saying, and we're in a group chat. But
yes, boys.
let me it's something about Pretty Deadly. It's like out of all the tag teams, I just feel that like not saying that they're the odd team out, but it's just like I like when it comes to tag teams, I just like this how they sync in terms of they're just on the same page. And they have charisma. They got the talent, and it's amazing to me that how we're looking at them. I'm like, look, those guys feel like tag team champions now, or in contention for tag team championship. I'm just excited because it's different. Because I thought they were really going to go the other way, and they didn't. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the format they have for this, tag team chaos. So it's just a matter to me of like I'm not saying Pretty is going to win the tag belts, but it was good. It was good to see them get a W and kind of because in the storyline it kind of felt like they were just tied in the backstage stuff, but to see them in the ring and just and do that was just pretty awesome in my opinion.
I really like
Jesus, W sure has a lot of tag team sync. That's what what, Craig. Thank you. That's why Craig. That's why you get paid, the big bucks because you come up, you clean up the stuff, and you're good. You're a good man, Craig. You're a good man.
Can't wait to see the Google follow. All right, so I got to say I enjoyed it. I mean, I was happy for him, and then when I saw your comment, I was like, all right, now I feel better because I now know that someone else likes them. See, I liked them in NXT UK. And then they went to NXT, and I still liked them. And then it's like when they got to the main roster, my only thought was, okay, are they just going to find a way to just stick around? If they can do that, all bets are on for these guys because they are good. But I really enjoy them. I like the way they talk, everything. They have fun. I'm surprised some of these guys can have a straight face around these guys. Because I know I would have cracked at least quite a few times. And by the way, kudos to the man that came up with the big disco ball and the ABBA wannabe music. You, my friend, should get a raise, because my thing is, anytime I can hear ABBA, I'm all for it. So, good job there. And also a disco ball. I mean, now some people might want to, yell at their woman and say, I can dance. That person just needs to take offense. But anyway, let's get into the BET moment of the show, which was, oh my God. I mean, look, we call it the BET Network, but I got to go here. This damn thing was very intriguing, especially with Naomi and Bianca. What did you think? I'll let you run on that one. What was your feelings watching it, and even the beatdown afterwards? Yeah, and Naomi and Bianca were something.
Listen, I know award season is it's wrapped up after the Oscars, but we still have time to put this in the category for next year. You want to talk about great acting? You want to talk about the drama? We got all of it. And let me tell you, a part of me still feels that there's more to this, because it just feels too clear cut. Maybe that's just the CJ guy with the CJ degree in me. Maybe that's just the curiosity guy. Maybe I want more. But a part of me still feels Naomi said it, but under the guise of with Bianca somewhere in tow, either as the master, because like I said, we haven't technically seen the footage.
Yeah.
So for all we know, it could have been both of them that did it, and maybe Naomi's taking the rap. So, but let me tell you something. First of all, heel Naomi, long overdue. That seems to be the theme. Like, the thing is with Naomi, something, like I said, with the character, it just felt like it was, kind of even. Making Naomi a heel is fantastic. And listen, and people don't understand this, but listen, John Cena going heel is going to open up the door for a lot of folks that you think can't be heels. They're going to be heels. And that's why I say don't close the door on the EST of WWE also being involved, because listen, if they did it to John Cena, the guy's been the face of the company for 2 decades, why not do it to arguably one of the faces of the female division for quite some time? They can do it to her too, because listen, she was initially a heel at NXT, and I had to keep telling people that to remind them, like, yeah, when they called her up, like, they made the change. But they didn't do like with Tiffany Stratton, where they just kept Stratton's character the same from NXT up to the main roster to a certain point. No, they went 180 on Bianca, because I felt they saw her in the same way that they saw John Cena. That,
yeah.
So that's why they said, okay, we got to make the change. And so I just think it was all well done. And whatever potentially we could get Jade versus Naomi, I don't know what's going to, because I still need to, that could potentially, be a thing. But listen, what we saw was some award-winning stuff in that ring.
I did it for you, baby.
And it's like, and you see Rikishi's like,
apparently, Jade brought that up to Rikishi too.
Yeah, you did it for The Rock. Yeah, and your daughter-in-law did it for Bianca. And it's like, but what got me was when they put Naomi's face on Rikishi. I'm like, you know what? Some of y'all got too much time on your hands. Like, Jesus. And I did it for Bianca. But overall,
I am sitting watching it on my phone, and I'm going, say it.
I did it. You see The Rock? Wait, what?
I did it for you, Bill. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, the whole house up.
It's like I did this. It's like you do the scene from Rudy where Charles just doesn't claps, like he does. He does the excitement. Yeah, he does the excitement. Like he's like fist pumping. He's like, yeah, like like that was Rikishi, and that was a lot. It's like it's so well done.
Hold on. Rikishi had the tear coming down his eye. Bro, he's wearing his shades and he's about to do the dance, but he heard it. And he's like,
Like I said, it's just so well done. It's where like a part of me still wants more to it because it's still a great storyline to me. And like I said, we have some time before we get to WrestleMania, so I'm curious to see how they kind of play all this out moving forward. And not only that, like how Naomi as a heel, I want to see how that goes as well. Like, that's going to be interesting to me as well.
Picture, if you will. I have a suggestion, or because I've heard it on quite a few shows and a few different voices from it, but I've always wanted to ask you about it. What if Naomi brought in Flash Legend, Jakara Jackson as her muscle to counter Naomi or to counter Jade? Because so far, every time she has seen Jade, Jade has whooped her ass. Even to the point that the last thing Naomi said was Bianca as she went down to the Jade. So let's say we bring those two in. We get it for a while because my thing is this. We may not get Bianca being involved in this just yet. Kind of give it some time to have Naomi fill her shoes in this thing. And then when it's time, maybe let's say Rhea and Bianca are in a feud. They come out and you know Rhea's thinking, okay, or what's going on, thinking it's going to be like they're about to get beat up, and Bianca turns on them, or whatever. What do you think about that? And they wouldn't be with the metaphor. It would be them with Bianca or with Naomi and Bianca.
I wouldn't be mad at it because you do two things. You, like I say, I think this is long-term storytelling. I would like for this to be long-term storytelling. So I like the Bianca idea a lot. And I think the one of the biggest things is that I just, like I said, I don't hate it because like I said, I just want to see more of it. And if that's the path we take, look, it's hard to be upset at it because I just like this is like I say down the road stuff, but I just want the key to be that we let this kind of thing build up when it comes to Bianca being involved. Because listen, I think Rhea is going to play a huge factor.
Yeah.
Because Rhea's going to do it. Listen, investigation Rhea. Rhea's going to turn into Sherlock Holmes, and she's gonna figure it out because like I said, it was how it was. I go back to when Bianca was the match with Rhea and Io. And I just go, man, Rhea's pissed. She blames Bianca. So she's going to expose Bianca. So how she exposes Bianca it's going to be very interesting because I think that's the X factor. I think that it's a layer to a story that makes sense because right now, Rhea's going to find out, well, who sent that tape in? Where's the footage from the back? Because we never did see Naomi technically push Jade. We just had Naomi admit to it.
And that's the other thing I've been thinking too. That's been in my head. It's like there's got to be a video because my thing is this. Even let's say Naomi did it all. How much strength does she have throwing her off the
right? And people aren't factoring that in. It's like no disrespect to Naomi.
Yeah.
It's like you're telling me that you want me to believe that Naomi got Jade so close to the end of that, and then pushed her down.
Or rear viewed her. Yeah.
It's like, just did the rear view and like, man, that move was more dangerous. That move was more dangerous than what I thought it was. Like, it's like, but so I just hope that we get more out of it because like, and I think Rhea, because like I think having Rhea involved in this now makes it interesting because Rhea is coming from the perspective of I got to get Bianca because I know Bianca's phony. I know Bianca. I think that's the mindset Rhea Ripley is.
Yeah.
And double heels, you know?
Look, you know what? Look, Jim is finally getting over. I don't think Big Jim wants to get a double heel turn now. He's
He
like,
goes home to
come
his wife.
on, man.
You see Naomi go home.
Not me.
You see Naomi go to Jimmy. I need your help. Listen, babe. Listen, I want to help you, but I mean, people are buying my merch now. People know my name. I got to be the
They're
good
not
guy.
calling me Jay anymore.
Yeah, I mean, when I walk down the street, they say, "Hey, that's Jimmy." They say, "Hey." They keep doing the oos thing and they keep doing the yeet, and I was like, it hurt.
No. I'm like,
And then they point and say, "Hey, it's no yeet." I'm like, I feel so good.
hold on.
And
I get to make a wish kid happy now, and then I get to pull the plug. I mean, cut the cord.
What did you say the first time? That's not important. But the point is, it's. I love how we stay focused on here.
I don't know how we do it, but we do this.
But you know, to put a button on the point, it's like this. In most of these cases, like we haven't seen any video. I still go back to who turned in the tape. Yeah. And to happen to get that angle or just seeing Liv and Raquel, like somebody, like how do you get a hold of that? And then secondly, like how are you going to convince me that Naomi pushed Jade into that car, you know, all the way down? Because that feels like that feels like the work of if not Naomi, she had help. And this is where I go. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, but part of me wants to say, you want to make this really convoluted or make it where people really have to do some mental gymnastics? Liv looks over at Rhea and goes, "Do you really think that Naomi did it?
Mm-hmm.
You want the proof? Come see me."
Yeah, or better yet, you know, to your point, I'll even add this. Hey, come here, come to Raw next week or whenever. Let's just say I know who turned in the tape. Yeah. And then have footage of Bianca in the area.
Yeah.
At the time of the push.
Mm-hmm.
And like I like your idea a lot because what you're doing is that you're adding layers and then B, more importantly, you know, you have two enemies now coming together. Listen, they both don't like Bianca. Yeah, so listen.
Another idea though, but it's the road of friendship somehow. How can we get it back? Yeah, you hate me. Yeah, you took my man.
Yeah.
But you know what? I still love you. There's something about you. You know, I want to kick your ass, but you know, and that's what I'm saying. There's that thing because that's, you know, everyone was mad about Rhea's promo and feeling like she was ignoring it when I'm going, no, she's still showing it. She's mad at Bianca going, well, why did you have to be there? Why did you feel like you needed to be a part of this?
Yeah. And like the old saying is this: the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, I would say Dominic, but man, I don't want to do that, Dominic.
But so yeah, like I said, there's a lot of different ways they can go.
Oh God, yes. Especially with Dom and his connections now too, catching stuff. And by the way, that was also another little hidden thing. If you watch Raw, he was actually talking to Kaiser. So just throwing it out there. Just, you know, we don't know. I'm just saying, you know, you watch out. Dom might end up being a leader somehow. I just like how I'm seeing this. I'm not worried about the Braun Strowman match per se because it ended disqualification. But my God, Jacob Fatu, your shirt. My Lord, dude. That man. Those two just fought all over the place. Man, he gets chokeslammed through tables. And still came up. I love Fatu. What about you?
Listen, I think you know how I feel about Jacob Fatu. I went out and when I saw the shirt, I said, I gotta have that shirt. I'm like, I'm convinced Jacob Fatu is a future champion in this company,
Yep.
and you have him face the biggest, baddest SOB you can in Braun Strowman. And my goodness, you could tell rather early on when Solo was, adding people to the new bloodline. When he added Tama Tonga, Tamalo, and then he added Jacob Fatu. You could tell out of all those guys, like Fatu just stood out. Like, especially if you've seen his previous stuff too. I believe at MLW. So you kind of knew, like, this guy is a legit badass. He and it's like, that guy's a champion. It's like there's some guys you look at and go, that guy's going to get a belt sooner rather than later. And like I tell people, given the way how we're looking at the United States Championship picture on SmackDown,
Yep.
I would not be like that guy to be shocked, because I think LA Knight is great, but I think they want, not say want to get off of Shinsuke. And like I said, his run at this time around as U.S. champion wasn't ideal, so that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But like, just seeing two, it gave off like them Oba and Moose vibes. Like they're just beating the bejesus out of, just beating the like. Like if you came for technical wrestling, this is not the match for you. Like,
by the way, the big boot to Moose did to Oba, and Oba just, I love it. That still is in my head.
It's like that.
Oh
like
yeah,
that's how you do it.
Yeah,
but going back to it's just, listen, I don't mind the feud, because like you just beat the bejesus out of each other. It's no different. Like they're finding spots for Braun. Braun worked with Bronson Reed. Now he's working with Jacob Fatu. WWE. There's a reason why they brought back Braun. Like, hey, you work with these guys because we really like them, but we feel like you can help them.
Want to see their medal. Want to see how they do.
Yeah, I feel like if you're the measuring stick, and if they can get through, like unfortunately when Bronson got hurt, unfortunately, like he was already on a trajectory, and Jacob Fatu, we thought when he got hurt, like, oh no, but then he was fine.
He's a damn good seller, folks. He's a damn good seller. That man is.
It's like I thought he was hurt. I'm like, oh, this guy, and so
I thought the same thing too.
And so it's like, shout out to Braun for just getting the bejesus beat out of him by hog mollies. Like just getting kudos to him. Like I said, I just love this feud, and just if you can push this bad boy to WrestleMania, I wouldn't be upset.
They got that. They could do Fatu and Solo. They could. Man, there's so many things they could do. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about it. We need to talk about our U.S. champion, and we must salute her and the cabinet, because my God, Chelsea Green coming out with the Mick Foley, Matt Cardona look. That's all I can call it, and that's the only person I'm like, yep, I've seen that person do this. So, Chelsea, you're awesome. That's all I can say.
Listen, Chick Foley, whatever you want to call her.
And by the way, as soon as I saw the person pull Chelsea off, I'm like, okay, I know who it is. And she took the hood and she did the salute at the pin. I'm like, Alba, man. Oh my God. Go ahead, talk. Tell me what you thought.
Here's the thing, and like Greg said, both of them, I don't know how to feel about LA Knight as U.S. champion. I'm not mad at it, but like Chelsea's U.S. champion, listen, you can have her hold that bad boy to WrestleMania, and I'm not going to be upset.
Amen.
Because here's the thing, and this is listen, they foreshadowed what we saw on last Friday. It's just like when I forgot
actually,
how many.
Longer. It was longer because remember, I think it was like a few weeks ago.
Well, yeah, I was trying to get to. My mouth got stumbled. Yeah, no, you're good. It's just they foreshadowed this. Like I could argue maybe a month and a half ago, maybe. Maybe somewhere like a month. It's like Chelsea was like, we need to add more people to the cabinet. It was like,
how many people hate you?
It's like, and so it was like, it was we like I said, it didn't foretell who, but we knew at some point they were going to add somebody else, and then you bring back Alba Fire, like let's say Craig says, Nelly. You know what, Craig? You know what? I think that's the exact reason why they gave him the belt back, because he's not like as over as he once was, but he's still over, and you can't ignore it. Like I said, I'm not upset at him having the title. It's just that I'm curious to see how this run's going to go this time around, because
at least he defends it. Yeah, he's on TV. He defends it. He's a presence. Yeah. I don't mind that.
It's just that, like, I'm curious to see how this run goes, because the first run, how he just dropped it to Shinsuke at a PLE, just at a like that. It's like something's wrong there, and then whatever. However, but circling back to Chelsea Green, look, as much as I'm telling you, when you're an inaugural champion, you set the bar. Listen, Chelsea Green setting the bar pretty high for this Women's United States title, in the same way that Seth Rollins set the bar when he became the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion. It's like this. With Chelsea Green's character, it absolutely works. It works because of the entitlement. It works because she went all in. The gimmick, it's all in. It's presidential. Like, who else would think of doing that? It's kind of it's like when Booker T won the King of the Ring. He became King Booker. He embraced it. It's like it was more.
He had an accent.
He added elements to it that you wouldn't think. That makes no sense. But I'm like, when the hell did Booker have an accent? I've seen this man since WCW, and that man has never had an accent. I'm like, this man is part of the most decorated tag teams in wrestling. This man never had an accent. When he was on the mic, it was. But the point is that it's the adaptability to your character. It's like I guarantee you, it's like when your favorite actor or actress, what makes them great is that they embrace the character, and they have a vision for the character that you may not think works, but only they can pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's why certain actors and actresses are held in high regard. It's like this. I do that with Denzel Washington. Every character he embraces, he takes on the persona of the character. He owns it. And it's no different to me. Like Anne Hathaway, low key, is like that for me. But that's just my part. But it's not about me. But the point is, Chelsea Green has embraced this being the women's U.S. champion to a T. And it's brilliant. And then, obviously with Piper, and then adding Alba Fire. And remember, like, and they showed this. Like all three of them back in the day, like they were opponents, and now look at them. How do I know they're good? Because you have two Scots and a Canadian, in a modeling our government, our U.S. government. It's like, it's not the Twilight Zone. It's like wait, what? I thought, but that's what makes it work to me, and it's like this. Whomever she drops the belt to, it's going to be a high standard, because she set the tone, and now that you added Alba Fire, makes me believe that she's going to be a champion for a little while longer.
Oh,
and oh my God, it's just. And listen, the whole Chick Foley thing helped. It's like she embraces everything. Like whether she was, in the trash, she embraced that. Like the odor, like people like, what's that smell? And they're like, and now with Chick, like she just embraces it. Chelsea Green is absolutely I will not tolerate any Chelsea Green slander whatsoever.
No,
I simply won't, because if you guys weren't convinced at her work, if you haven't seen Chelsea Green before, I knew she was going to be great. And this, this run doesn't surprise me. But I'm just surprised at how she just embraced this character, having having. And also, shout out to Triple H for just let people be people. Like I said earlier, this is Chelsea Green. Like, go watch her stuff when she's at TNA. Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, when she was testing, folks, when she was a hot mess, like let them cook, and that's exactly what I love about how they're just doing her. Just let her cook. Let Chelsea be Chelsea. Call it a day.
Look, I'm with you. I think it was an extra, or it could have been an interview spot. Freaking Alba Fire, and they get the Piper, and she's like, "The package is here. The package is here." And she has act like she has an earpiece, and then they're like, "Well, what do you have to say?" The eagle has landed. We must go. Come on. It's like this way, and I'm going. I don't care. I don't care if she's the heel. I love this. This group is freaking hilarious. I mean, bad fun idea. Chelsea needs to bring back the un-American with the no. She's doing it fine what it is now. I love you, Craig. I got to go here though. Let it still be the U.S. title, no un-American. Because here's the thing, they're running it better than the Americans. That's what I love about it.
It's
I mean, and like you said, it's like sometimes someone says, "Here's an idea," and someone goes, "That is so stupid." And the next person looks at it and goes, "I can make that work."
it's like it's like when Nikki Cross had the idea to become Nikki ASH. Like she went like
She
I'm
went
not
to Vince with the idea.
yeah.
That was surprising.
And then Vince
Yeah.
it's like you have to. It's like I always say. Sometimes you gotta bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You can't expect other people to bet on you unless you bet on yourself. And Nikki Cross did it. Chelsea Green has done it, and we've seen I would also toss in Karrion Cross has also done the very same thing. Bet on yourself.
Cross is actually really over. I love what he's doing.
Like when
I
you bet
love
on
what
your
he's doing on Twitter.
yeah, when you bet on yourself, it all works out great. And like I said, this Chelsea Green home run, 10 out of 10, no notes. I absolutely love it.
Let's talk about Drew McIntyre beats Big Jim, but it's basically Drew's trying to get back the momentum. He's mad, he's angry. Gotcha. Damian Priest attacks him. Now we have LA Knight gets the belt back, as we pretty much said. With everything that happened. By the way, WWE, this is a small critique. I'm going to help you out. Whenever there's a running spot, just give it to Charles Robinson. Don't let him be the first ref to be taken out.
And
let
also
him be the running ref.
Make sure the ramp is long as possible.
Yes, because that is what this man lives for. He wants to show the world he still's got that 4.4 speed. I mean,
my guy said, "Cardio be damned. Let me go."
He said, "Today's the day." I mean, this man is. I'm telling you, WrestleMania, he's gonna be running. He is Forrest Gump. This man can't wait. He's got his running shoes perfectly on.
The referee is out. Wait a minute, it's Charles Robinson.
Two, and then gets hit with the stunner. But look, LA Knight wins. The belt goes back to LA. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm not worried that LA has the belt. Maybe the story for his opponent is going to be concerning, but we don't really even know that either. So we'll let it play out. But I'm going to go here. Of all the titles, I think the U.S. title and the Women's Intercontinental title, I'm not worried about. But everyone else, all the other titles, I'm very interested. Like the tag team, we have multiple tag teams that can challenge for this belt. We have multiple tag teams that could challenge for the Viking Raiders belts. I still would merge them. That's just me. But the U.S., the Intercontinental, I don't mind those. But man, I feel for Lyra because like they had it right with Chelsea. We need Lyra to start resonating. She's got to do some stuff because I hate to compare them, but my God, Chelsea Green, when it comes to that creativity, she's on another level versus what everyone else is working with, I guess. And I also give it to her because she's been in the business so long too. She knows how to fight for what she wants. Maybe you're like Albert, you're like Isla Dawn or Isla, or not Isla, Lyra. You're going, maybe I shouldn't say this. I don't know what to do. And she kind of hopes that Becky comes out so she can wrestle her. But something's got to happen for them. So that's WWE as a whole. What did you think, man? I mean, what's your takeaway so far? And then we'll discuss the show that really we shouldn't, but we will.
Yeah. So we're gonna. We'll spend the next 5 minutes talking about AEW after this.
Yeah, I don't want to bore people.
Listen, I say it a lot, but I'll keep saying it. I'm excited for this women's division. I'm excited that the moral of the story is just patience.
Yeah.
It's more than likely your storyline's gonna happen, but you gotta let it cook.
Yeah.
You can't throw a roast in a microwave and say it's done. Put that bad boy in the oven, set it to put it in a crock pot, just let it sit for a couple of hours, and you're gonna reap the benefits. That's how I feel about letting these storylines cook, and we are starting to see it. And to your point, I'm intrigued about the U.S. and I'm curious. I have an idea where they're going to go, but for everything else, like once again, let Triple H do his thing. Let Sean do his thing.
Oh God.
They understand the business. They understand the storylines that you're seeing. They lived it. They experienced it. And people like listen. If listen, people are like, oh, it's no different than your favorite soap opera. I'll tell you that much. Because I guarantee you, your favorite soap opera, what do you want from your favorite soap? Your favorite character? You want a storyline. You want an arc. It's wrestling. It's just like for anybody's favorite wrestler, you want them to have that storyline, that arc, that puts them absolutely over the top. And so at the end of the day, you just want it to go over so much. And right now, I'm happy where it's going. And now I'm just curious to see what else can happen because, listen, we're on this road to WrestleMania, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, road to WrestleMania, I'm psyched. And here's one main reason. I know I told Ladarius quite a few times. I'm excited about it for a big reason. We're going to get a lot of key women matches, and it's not fluff matches. It's matches that actually are going to tell stories. It's going to get people involved. You're going to have Chelsea Green in her cabinet, probably featured in it, and God knows she's going to have a hilarious entrance. I mean, come on. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what are we going to see with Jade, Naomi, and maybe Bianca. Maybe they hold off till after Mania with Bianca being involved. I don't mind that. I'm just looking forward to seeing how we get to the day by, because I know people really hate to hear day by day, but honestly, that's how I see it. It's like just stick with what we're doing. SmackDown is live from Barcelona, and that's going to be on Friday. They're not changing their time. It's going to stick at 8. But Raw will be on 3 o'clock Monday. We'll talk about it big time. We're going to be watching it. We're not even going to lie. I got to get my workout done way before because it just messes my whole schedule, but that's okay. I can work with it. But let's talk about it. All right. Because we are Wrestle Take. And there was a show in AEW, and it was Revolution. And of course, how dare you still have Collision? Look, this thing should be called Rampage 2.0 because this thing is ridiculous. And I'm sick and tired of seeing the Costco guy and his fat kids. I mean, look, you know what? No, I don't care. I'm sick and tired of seeing you and your fat kids. Period. All right. He wants to do a power bomb. Big whoop. If you got in the ring, you're gonna get your ass whooped. All right. I don't care. Yeah, kid could get these hands too. All right. But let's talk about it. Look, I thought the MJF match with Hangman was actually good. I thought Swerve versus Ricochet was good. And I'm pointing out these matches for a reason. They were good because they had a freaking story. Swerve or MJF, Hangman, hated each other. There's a deep root hate, and they made it special because they didn't touch each other much. They finally got into it. One spit on the other. Okay, I can watch this. I can actually get into it. Swerve and Ricochet. I can't stand Ricochet on the mic. Worst thing in the world you could do is put that man with the microphone. Guess what? Match wise though, really good. For over a robe, that match was about. And you heard me right, a robe. All right. Yes, I know what. Yes, I know who wore it and all that. Whatever. Wham. But it was a good match. All right. I will give you a thumbs up on it. I thought it was a good showing on those matches. That was it. Because your tag team match was garbage. I mean, the Outrunners, they're the only tag team you have, I think, or a couple of teams. But, we're going to feed them to the, Hurt Syndicate because they hurt people. And poor Bobby Lashley and Shelton, they ain't got no competition now because they're just going to run over everybody. Then we got Cody, because I'm not calling him by his name because, quite honestly, if he wants to be called by his name, go to Japan. I'm sorry. I'm sick and tired of this man. You only are known for one thing, saying bitch. And you don't even say it right. So, look, bro. I can't stand Okada. Or whatever, or Cody, or Oprah, whatever you want to call him. This man is stealing money, and he looks like he don't care. So, big whoop. And we all know they're just waiting this out so him and Anime Kenny can have a match in Dallas, and they'll be all in, and it's Okada versus Kenny 6, I think it's called. I didn't watch the prequels. Actually, I kind of saw some, and my God, I want to talk about being bored to death. And I've heard, these are the greatest matches you'll ever see. Look, I don't care. If Dave Meltzer himself comes to your house and tells you how great these matches are, first you say stranger danger and squirt baby oil in that man's face and make sure he's gone. Because he's a devil. He don't need to be in your house. Especially as messy as his place is. But anyway. But my God. Coming into the show, I thought the main event should have been Toni Storm versus Mariah May, the Hollywood ending. It should have been the main event. Before the match happened, I said that's what it should have been. Here's one reason why. LA. That's where you were at. You were at the Forum, what is now Crypto. But the other thing, if I'm not mistaken, Toni Storm's in Queen of the Ring. Am I correct? Okay. Why was she not talking about the movie then? Why was she not promoting the movie throughout the show?
I mean, somebody talked about the movie, but not in the way.
Oh, we know who. Don't worry, we're talking about her too, because she got smoke. I got smoke for her too. C Double's pissing everybody, and Tony Schiavone. He ain't getting away with this either. But so I thought, from those points alone, you should put that in the main event. And it's ending a feud. We all know what happened with Australia. Give them a proper feud ender, the big house. You let the fans erupt when Tony wins. Get them home happy. I don't care if it's a women's match. That fits. Because God knows we would love to do the same with Mercedes, but, she's not interested in having stories in her match. She just wants to have squash matches like she's Goldberg. But anyway, but she wants the CEO champ. Well, you're a loser, so I can't stand her anyway. But I'm sitting here and I see the stuff from the women's match, and I'm not a guy that gets squeamish. I'm not, I don't mind seeing blood. I don't mind seeing chair shots. Glass shots. I've seen it. I've been around. I've seen someone get stuck with a syringe, and I told the person don't do it. But anyway, I saw this idiot go for a kick, and this woman hits her with a champagne bottle in the vag. And I'm going, what was that for? Why do we need that image in our heads now? because now people are going to need to up that now. I'm just saying, man. I get, but when I'm watching a match and I'm going, I feel like I was watching deathmatch wrestling. That shouldn't be on the main card. Now, say that. But it's a feud ender. Okay, cool. And my other thought, well, hopefully this is the only match that's going to get that vicious. Because, you just had it. There's no way you can try to top that. An hour later, they had this cage match with Will. I need an Aurora, or you're gonna wank to watch me wrestle, which I won't. But anyway, the amount of no sells, the amount of kickouts, tacks, bro, it lost me. I mean, they even brought the tag partner broke into the ring to fight, and he got bladed, and I'm going, how do you get cut? I mean, Charles Robinson's running. At least that's realistic. You just opened the door. You just helped hit yourself in the head, and all right, we got a bleeder. I mean, look, hold on. So top of the cage, Ladarius. They went on top of the cage to do a Spanish fly. Landed it. The man kicked out of one. But lost to the Tiger Driver. Not off the top rope, not off the top of the cage, just a regular Tiger Driver. The move that's so sacred that Will Ospreay shouldn't do because he hurts people. And people want to tell me how great Will Ospreay is. I'm begging somebody. Don't try to tell me anything about this man. I cannot stand him. Kenny Omega wrestled, big whoop, because when I saw the thing with him giving the belt to Okada that time, and it showed All In, I'm like, you just gave us where we're headed. And I don't care about this road. It's almost like I go, oh, that attraction's there. Do we go? Nah, keep going straight. Okay. So let's talk about Hulk or Cope Hogan and John or Hulk Moxley, because it don't work for them, brother. Jesus, I'm waiting for Cope to come out to Real American and just come out to I'm a real Copian, and I bury everybody, because they did a research on Cope and his matches. One man in AEW has only been, and that's Christian. No one else. He hasn't put anyone over. In a one-on-one match. Hold on. Ladarius is now trying to do the math. And this is the man that was going to save us from Moxley, from the White Pool Combat Clan. But yeah, White Hogan. I mean, White Cope. He's the big White Cope. So, man, I just came up with new names now. This is actually therapy now. Man, what did you think? Did you see any of this? I mean, I'm just, I still want to go deeper, because the main event was, it's like, all right. Oh, before the main event started, so remember when I asked about the Queen of the Ring? Oh, they had a star from the Queen of the Ring to talk. Apparently, she was like the 13th star of the show, because she didn't need to say what she said. I'd rather have Travis Scott hit my eardrum before hearing what this woman said to me on the mic. I'd rather have Billboy burning the sage, punching my eardrum, and letting her talk versus hearing her tell the world wrestling's predetermined, and they're really nice when they know the results. And hold on. And the best part of all, Tony Schiavone. Yes, they are. Back to you, guys. I'm just like, Tony, you could have backslapped her for all of us. It's fine. Everyone would have understood. And what's great about this? A lot of this could have been, taken care of if you had this thing called a production meeting. But apparently, we don't do production meetings. But before we go about the end, which was even more of a craptastic finish, what do you think about it? What did you think about it, or what you saw maybe through Twitter? I don't know what all you got to see.
Boy, I don't want to be too close to the microphone. The best part to me of the whole thing was Tony Storm versus Mark. That story. Like I say, I criticize AEW's women's division. I'm like, that was the main event. You were in the right city.
Yeah.
You were like, you're in LA of the stars and all, and a Hollywood ending. Why are we booking the?
And you have an actress that's in the movie that's coming out.
Yeah, like that's how you promote it. It's like everything else you said. I was just more interested in that match more than anything.
Yeah,
because I felt it told it's the matches were great that you thought it's the storytelling. You just can't throw people in a ring and say, "Hey, go for it." There needs to be chemistry. There needs to be storytelling at the least. And we didn't see that a lot. A couple of matches we did, so a lot of it we didn't. And as far as the ending's concerned, I always preach who you give creative control to, because we just saw what it's like. It's like not everybody deserves a raise. Like people can say, "Oh, I want a raise." Listen, you got to shut people down. They're like, no. Do you think you deserve it, or do you just want the like? Oh, I think I deserve it. No, you don't. No. And like some people, you're like, oh, this is about. Hey, you want creative control? Some people just should say no. You say no to drugs, and you say no to creative control. Those are two things you should say no to. So,
I honestly don't think if you're an active wrestler, you really shouldn't have creative control. I'm sorry. It keeps you from looking bad. And that's how I see it. I mean, I get it. It may look inviting to have it, but if even Bret Hart, who had every right to do what he did with the Montreal Screwjob, he shouldn't have had it. But Vince put it in the contract. I'll say to this day, you want to know what should have happened in that match? I told a lot of people as a kid, why is Owen Hart not in this match? You put Owen in this match and make it a triple threat. And worst case scenario, Shawn doesn't leave with the belt, but Owen does. I mean, there you go. And Bret could get screwed out, or Bret could even do the honors to Owen. Because Bret said many times over, you could pick anybody, but I'm not doing it with Shawn. And I'm going, well, and I just don't ever want to have to relive that again. But anyway, I mean, but honestly, that's where I see. But man, this match, let's talk about the end of this match that they picked to be the main event. You ready for this? Let's go. We're going to go to the part that got really juicy. Because, after a cage match where they had tacks, glass, screwdrivers, oh my. Well, Mox had forearms. Yeah. And bulldog chokes. Yeah. And Wheeler Yuta. Now, Wednesday, Wheeler wrestled Adam Copeland, or Cope. And he felt the power of the Copester when he shook his hand. And he said, that's respect. Well, apparently that doesn't really mean much to Wheeler, because he took him out with the Psycho knee. And then went, oh, my bad. And then I guess Jay White showed up with the briefcase, was going to hit Mox, took out the Copester. Don't worry, Cope still kicked out because, he's the Copester. He heard his Copomaniacs. And then, oh yeah, he's now Cope Hogan. That's who he is. He's the Copester. And so now we have Mr. Cope, no selling everything, or, they're getting to the finish. Christian comes out with his contract that he must sign before coming into the match. Details, folks. We're about details. And makes it a triple threat. So what do? You now have an opportunity. Let's get the belt off Moxley. No. That doesn't work for him, brother. Let's just pin Edge. No, that doesn't work for Cope, brother. Christian gets taken out with a bulldog choke. And at one point has his hand on Edge. They count 1, 2, and Mox, rears back, and he just passes out, and that's how Mox wins the match. It's how you leave them, bro. It's how you leave them. So look, some people go, well, you should cover AEW. Look, when AEW wants to give us some good stories and give us some good stuff to talk about, I'm all for it. But when AEW has a tag team match that features Thunder Rosa and Statlander versus the two idiots that pulled the crap that they pulled, and Thunder Rosa is the one that gets pinned, I pretty much know what the policy is. And I'm surprised Thunder Rosa still works there. She should just leave. But anyway, what did you think about that hilarious ending and all that good stuff?
Look, I just been eating over here, and
no, I'm jealous of those corn chips, bro. I love them.
Here's the thing. Will you give, like I said earlier, creative control is something. And you're starting to see that, listen, you gave it to Mercedes Moné. Oh, by the way, did she lose her belt? Oh, no, she retained.
No, she's got 4 belts still. Don't worry. She's going to get to 5 soon.
And that's hampering your women's division.
Yep.
Moxley, as great as the dude he is, at some point, creative control should always belong to the writer. You don't give it to wrestlers because it becomes ego. Well, I can be champion forever. And then it waters down the belt, and then it just makes your division, like, who is Mox, like, from the looks of it, are we going to get Mox and Swerve again? Are we going to get that again?
I think we're good.
Which, like I say, I'm not upset about it.
Mm-mm.
But like, you could have made a statement and said, "Hey, I'll drop it to Cope," and you didn't do that. The problem is like I say, it's the booking. And like Craig said here earlier, like, this is why when you book triple threat matches, and why they come out so poorly, it's because of what we saw.
Yeah,
it's where one person wants to control. They're not willing to be open to the idea of, okay, I'll drop the belt. And that's what makes it scary. And that's why I say, no one else is to blame but Tony Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's worse is that like Thunder Rosa should be upset. A lot of people in that company should be upset because Thunder Rosa was your former world, and you wouldn't know, because I'm going to pull the Wayback Machine. When she had to drop her belt, did she do it in the middle of the ring? No. Did she do it even on the platform? No. She did it backstage. And then it wasn't even 5 minutes. Like, when people tell me Tony, like, listen, you're bashing AEW. No, it's not bashing AEW. It's just like stating, like, WWE hadn't gotten right either. Okay.
No.
We call it out and we talk about it. But AEW's number one problem is that Tony Khan just he gathers wrestlers like he's Thanos, but at least Thanos knew what to do with the power. Tony Khan has no idea what to do. I mean, when you snap the fingers, Tony Khan doesn't know what to do. Tony Khan falls down. Like, he doesn't know what to do. It's like nothing happens. And there's no disrespect to no one on the roster. It's the fact of the matter is this. Stop handing out creative control, and also stop handing out fully guaranteed contracts, and your life will be better.
Mm-hmm.
is that if you're the guy running the show, stop handing out creative control like Mercedes. Like your women's division right now is all your belts are being held by one person. If Mercedes Moné had two belts, I would be fine with that. But any women's title in that company belongs more or less to Mercedes Moné. And guess what? We're going to keep getting repeat matches from the same people. Mercedes going to face the same people because you have all the belts. It's like at the end of the day, how you book makes a difference. Like, listen, fans can sit there and say, "Oh, well, no." It's like, how did you screw up not booking Mariah May and Tony Storm as the main event in a Hollywood ending match in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
That sells itself. What you don't need to sell me like, and then what you have for the main event. All due respect to Moxley, listen, I, I'm not saying I'm over it. I'm to the point where I love Mox, but this has got to stop. And the only person who can stop it is Tony Khan. And Tony Khan, as we've seen, has just as much courage as the Cowardly Lion does. So,
I think the Coward Lion has a little bit more.
he got some courage at the end of the movie. But yeah, Tony Khan, he stop running it like a fan. Stop fantasy booking. Like, stop trying to appease an old guy from a different generation. When you look at like who he only gives out 10.5 star matches to your company, and people tell me, "Oh, AEW is great." Yeah, you know why he doesn't give WWE? Because WWE doesn't cater to people like Dave Meltzer.
No.
He listens to WWE listens to the fans. That's how we got Jey Uso. They go with what's good for business, not what's great for Dave Meltzer. And we got to remember that Tony Khan was a part of the Wrestling Observer, blah blah blah, junior editor, blah 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 blah. Like, until this company books and be serious. Because listen, as someone who loves women's wrestling, I'm very disappointed in AEW.
Yeah.
I love Mercedes Moné, but having all the women's titles on her just waters down your product, and we get the same old repetitive matches, and that's not fair to any other woman in that division.
How in the world, before all this happened, did we not even think about doing Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Moné? And
Well,
then you have Thunder Rosa. It's not an injury. She's been wrestling. And you did what you did.
yeah.
Because what? She was on a show and talked about how she liked the WWE product? Or because she liked Ricky Saints and was happy for him? I mean, that makes me so furious because
It
I'm
does.
going,
It's
you know,
listen,
yeah.
y'all thought I was petty.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all thought I was petty. Tony Khan is he's really Emperor Petty.
Yeah.
It's that he was willing to say, "How dare you speak negative about?" She didn't say nothing negative about AEW. All when she was asked a question,
Mm-hmm.
she answered it. She did not say, "Oh, I want to go to WWE." Listen, Ricky Saints worked in that company because Tony Khan, you didn't know how to use him.
Yeah.
You basically, here's the equivalent is you basically had Luka Doncic on your bench and you decided not to put him in the game. Oh, why are we losing? Gee, I wonder why.
You know, it's funny. Ricky said that a certain legend interfered with his creative. Now, at first, people were saying Jericho. My first response was the Copester because he's the legend. Jericho is a future legend because he didn't have the injuries and everything like Edge did. That's why he ended up getting in the Hall of Fame. And nothing against that, but yeah, there's been a lot of rumors about Edge and how cutthroat he is to get to where he needs to get.
Mm-hmm.
And look, like you said, creative control does not mean it's a great thing. I don't care what anyone says. And I looked at this. The women, they have first of all, AEW newsflash, they have talent. Just invest in it. And not invest as in get more guys. I mean, invest, make sure writing's good, make sure you have your production on point. Make sure when people talk about your product, it isn't about a B-rated actress or a C-rated actress going, yeah, it's predetermined. Let's not talk about the Costco guys. Let's talk about your team. Hold on. So Adam Cole. So you want to highlight Adam Cole not ever having a title or have a singles title? Have you seen how far Adam Cole has dropped? He's feuding with Danny Garcia and Shane Taylor. I mean, tell me that, hold on. Adam Cole, do you really like your decision now? Blink yes, blink once if you're happy, blink more if you're needing help out of there. I mean, there's, like I said, Adam Cole was a guy destined to be a franchise guy. He went to an AEW to be with his guys, and it has went straight to hell for him. I'm sorry. I mean, Bryan Danielson got his, beautiful send-off, but honestly, he's still going to be there because he's there part-time. Sting had the great send-off. That was awesome. I'm not even going to say nothing bad about that. I love that. But that was Sting. He was a WCW guy, not an AEW guy. And I go back to Thunder Rosa. When you brought up, look at how many times she was doing her promos in the back compared to the women that were doing promos. That's why I could tell you that Mariah May, she didn't register to me. Why? A lot of her promos were in the back. The only time they were up front is when Toni Storm was around. Hey, oh, wait, we got the star back. We can now push her. Wait a minute, she's the champ. Yeah. Don't big deal. She got this. And then you had, that's why Mercedes is always around. Via recorded video, whatever. And it's just annoying. But you could get her to do matches that can help elevate other talent. She needs to help elevate these women. But I will tell you this. After what I saw last week with that tag match with Thunder Rosa being pinned, when there's a Penelope Ford that's useless and should have gotten pinned, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Vane and Ford and I'm going, y'all shouldn't even be working. Y'all should be suspended for what you did. Oh, well, Thunder Rosa's jumping on the grenade, basically saying it's my fault. I'm going, no. I'm looking at her going, no. If Ladarius, if me and you ran into the ring with chairs, heels are going to run. We see somebody running with a chair at us. We're not going to just get together close and just laugh and point. I mean, even if I did, I'm pretty confident you would have ran because, I got your back. But still, I'm like, yeah, we here. We going to fight. Ladarius, where you at? Ladarius like, I'm running like Charles Robinson, baby. But what do you think, man? What say you?
Look, listen, I said what I said, and I just doubled down on what I said. It's at some point, it goes to show you that how you book, and not only just that, when you give control to some people who don't deserve it, or better yet, don't, like to your point, don't give it to a current wrestler, like that. What happened to WCW? Like same situation. They had up and coming guys. Like Goldberg was rising in the company. Yep. I could argue they had people rising in that company, and the Hogans and the Nash, they shut it down. And listen, I don't fully blame Hogan. I blame fully, but I don't blame guys like Nash and Hall because they were just following the lead of Hogan. Like, oh, if Hulk Hogan says it's not good, then I guess we think it's not good. And creative control just does no one no good. Give it to the writers. Trust them to make the show great. because what we saw was a no brainer main event, and you blew that. That's all I need to know. You have a Hollywood ending match in a city where Hollywood is in California. In LA, you have it in LA, not too far from Hollywood. You decided, oh well, we'll just book that somewhere around over there, and then you make it then the ending was just a cluster, and Mox is not going to give up the belt unless he wants to give up the belt. Like he's like basically, I make the case that Mercedes Moné and John Moxley are holding the company hostage, and getting more, passing on the belt, especially the women's division right now. Thunder Rosa should be upset. Willow Nightingale should be upset. Chris Statlander should be upset. There's a lot of upset people that should be in that company, in that women's division. Yeah. There's too much talent in there, but we wouldn't know because one person is beating everybody. Like, why did Stephanie Valcourt? Why did she leave? I think we saw why. She said thanks, but it took her one match to say thanks, but no thanks.
And
that's all you need to know.
She had a chance to go to the main roster. She could have chosen, or she was ready to go main roster, but she thought it would be better for her to stay or go to NXT.
Yeah,
I thought that was really amazing.
Yeah, because she saw it and went. She said, "I'm good." She said, "I'd rather be this than to be that."
Yeah.
Period.
Right. Yeah. Well, folks, that's about it. We talked about everything we wanted to. But now tomorrow morning, make sure you hit us up. I guess we'll start. I was gonna try to go for 11, but we'll probably do 10:30. So, because I don't want to try that again. Next thing you know, I get another. Hey, can we do this at 10:30? Sure, no problem. Let me switch everything around real quick. So yeah. So 10:30, you'll see us. The Morning Madness crew. We're going to be at it. We're going to talk about the free agency. Ladarius will do a fact or fiction, all on him. We're going to have a lot of open rants from. I know Ladarius will have one. We're going to have one from Ron. God knows he's got one. And I know Carrie. We need to let her unload. She's feeling it right now. I guess nobody wants to have Kurt anymore. Kurt's like, the Falcons got a lot of problems, and Kurt's one of them. He's how much again? 37 million. It's like, we can't get rid of him. He's like that old pair of ugly shoes. Why did you buy it? I don't know. I was drunk. But yeah, we'll talk about it. We got a lot to discuss. And then, we got the basketball games also coming up. The conference tournaments are finally starting up. So that's actually been fun to kind of watch here and there. But Ladarius, give us some plugs and shout outs.
First of all, thank you guys in the chat. Thank you to Craig. Thank you to A1. Thank you to Carrie. Thank you to Devin. Thank you to John, Christy, for all joining the show. You can follow me Twitter and TikTok at Ladarius_Brown. Instagram Ladarius _Brown, right editor for Beyond Women's Sports. Check out stuff there. And there's a good chance I'll do a little pop-up show. Probably Friday afternoon. So be on the lookout for that. Just cover some. Like C-Dub mentioned earlier. There's March Madness is here. Cover a little bit of that. Share my thoughts on free agency a little bit more in depth, and and whatever else comes that way. So be on the lookout for that. And once again, thank you, C-Dub, as always. Great show, and thank you, chat, once again.
No problem. I'm actually writing the agenda right now as we speak. The little things you get to see behind the scenes. But yeah, want to give a big shout out to our wonderful chat, A1 Forever. Thank you for joining us. John Brooks, thank you as always. Craig, we appreciate you. April and Ron Thomas, we always much love you. Carrie and Miss Christy Lewis, we have much love for y'all too. Mr. Devin, got to give you some love too. Appreciate y'all. And look, guys, stay with us. We'll be up in the morning. We'll be talking a lot of football stuff because look, even though the Falcons have signed some people, I know that a lot of y'all aren't happy, and I know a lot of y'all are gonna try to tell me that, or spit rainbows at me, and I'm gonna look at you and go, yeah, I'm not buying it. So we'll talk all about it. So I look forward to it. On the C Double channel, C Double 28 on YouTube, and at C Double AWTN. That's where you can get to us or get to me. Make sure if you're gonna tweet Ladarius, go to at Ladarius_Brown and check out Ron and Carrie out there. And I'm gonna tag them also. So be ready. We're gonna have a fun time. Looking forward to having everybody a part of it tomorrow. And again, y'all like wrestling? Hey, hang in there. It's like I said, we just begun. We just went the first hump of the roller coaster. We're still going. So enjoy, guys. I'm C Double. That's Ladarius. And we out. Peace.